Kia ora everyone, no mai haramai, hello and welcome to the Deep South ILT Stadium, Southland tonight. Some Thursday night hoops, Sky Broadband Rapid League coming your way first. Sal's NBL a little later tonight. The Sharks and the Saints, great rivalry between these two teams over the last 15 years. The Saints have had the edge on the Sharks in recent times. Does that change tonight? Justin Nelson with you, sitting right alongside me, four-time Sal's NBL champ, a man who spent a little bit of time with the Saints as well. Casey Frank, good evening to you, mate.
Always a good evening when I get to call some basketball with you, Justin. We'll start things off by taking a look at the standings. The Giants still on top 5-0, but chased by this Wellington Saints squad at 5-1, who have been playing very good basketball as of late after an initial loss.
Nugs have been good too.
They're getting up there. No, not a surprise. Nuggets had two players on the All-Star 5 a season ago, so you know they've got that talent. When we look at the bottom half of the ladder, we're going to take a look at the Sharks. They're sitting at 9th, 2-4. Haven't been able to get it going to the same effect, but 2 wins on the trot.
Have won their last 2, yeah.
So going in the right direction, which is always a positive sign.
Well, let's have a look at the way this Saints team starts tonight. That one loss, a narrow loss against the Giants, who are top of the table. So they're in a little bit of form. And they have what I would say
is your shirt on, Marty. What's going on?
It is a very.
What are we doing, mate? Oil it up.
Very steady starting 5 for the Saints. Heck yeah, Dougal Meter, who is minus the singlet at the moment. Richards, Evans.
Make sure you point that one out.
Pilcher. Let's have a look at the way the Sharks start tonight. The home team in the maroon, Ledger, Webster, Burtonshaw, Snow and Collier. Now, one of their better players, Casey, is not in the lineup, Tukaha Cooper, and there's a reason for that. He's been elevated up into the starters tonight in the Sal's NBL because Josiah Alec, the import forward, is a late out with a knee injury.
Yeah, good news for Tukaha Cooper getting the starting nod. Bad news for Sharks fans. Josiah Alec is the backbone of the front line and is going to make this job for the Southland Sharks a little bit tougher later on in the NBL. But first, take a look at the Chemist Warehouse stats. There you see the last 5 for both teams, riding winning streaks. The Saints 4 games long, 27 shots per game, a little bit more for the Sharks. Burtonshaw and Dougal Meter will be the top scorers tonight. That Arthur Pilcher, Tukaha Cooper clash, not so key anymore without Tukaha Cooper.
I reckon he goes to Burtonshaw now.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be a bit more going through Burtonshaw. And we'll see who's going to step up for this Southland Sharks Rapid League squad without Tukaha Cooper in the mix.
Let's have a look at the barter card officials for this Sky Broadband Rapid League game tonight. Sam Pan shaking hands with the combatants. He's out there. Blake Rosanowski and Brendan Douglas as well. Sal's NBL coming your way, 7 p.m. local time in New Zealand tonight. Love some Thursday night basketball. Off the back of some great basketball last night. Sky Broadband Rapid League between the Bulls and the Rams last night, Casey. 100 points scored in 16 minutes. Love that.
It's a lot of buckets. It's a lot of buckets. Going back to the old Westhead styles, were the Rams for playing the box defense, leaving Tama Isaac on the other end of the court. But it worked well offensively, just couldn't pull off the win. I like the innovation. I like trying some new stuff in Rapid League. See what works.
I appreciate the Crocs on the ball carrier as well. That's kind of nice. Rightio, here we go.
Always in Southland, baby. It's never a cold day in Invercargill.
Saints in the black, Sharks in the maroon, and the Sharks will get the opening chance here. Oh, Collier underneath. Corner ball for 3. And the Saints now will get their first opportunity. Don't forget, Sharks coming in off 2 straight wins, in a bit of form.
Playing pretty well. That's, of course, with Tukaha Cooper. Collier would have liked to have seen him take that shot. Good speed for this Saints squad in Rapid League. They really run their offense with a lot of pace.
Corner 3. That's deep and over the top. Cleaned up by Snow. And no score after a couple of opportunities early in this one tonight. Here's Ledger. Sends it out wide. Nowhere to go. Burtonshaw. Keep an eye on him tonight. Quake Webster through traffic. Ends up with Collier for 3. And a foul there on Dougal Meter.
Nice aggressive rebounding inside. Crashing the glass. Maria Dugumida, a little too aggressive trying to knock that one out. Got to chase that ball though. The outlet pass went to nobody. Might have ended up in the deep corner. Hope they had the shades down in between courts, otherwise it could have gone a mile.
I love the filler there, Casey. That was nice.
Doing what I can.
That was nice. Back underway. Still no score in this one. A minute into this game. Not sure we're going to get 100 on the board like last night. Underneath, does it get the drop? No, it doesn't for Riley Snow. But he will be off to the Chemist Warehouse for the first points, hopefully, of this one tonight. Riley Snow has been serviceable the last couple of years. He's still a growing youngster, working his way into his basketball career, but a good local as well.
Which is key, I think, for Southland to develop that local talent, find guys from the area that you can depend on. You know, it's obviously a key for the Tuatara, for the Saints, for the Giants, for the Rams, and that's you know, if you're becoming a key for the Franklin Bulls as well. And when you can develop those local programs, it really does help your record get a little bit higher.
There's no doubt we're seeing more of it across the competition. Evans Jr. on the drive. He's having a wonderful season.
And I just love his aggression. He puts his body on the line at all times. And not the biggest guy, but driving to the cup there, looking for the contact, doesn't find it, but has the strength to get the finish on regardless.
And how good is it?
Is it?
For Evans Jr. Is that the third team foul already? It is. So within a minute and a half on the third team foul, the bonus for the opposition. And Quake Webster says, thank you very much. I just want to get back to Caslow Evans Jr. How good is it for this young man in this Saints program, Casey, to now be working, training against and learning off the likes of Sean Bruce, Isaiah Liapa, Shea Illy's in the lineup tonight?
It's quite the apprenticeship. You know, I always like to say iron sharpens iron, especially when it comes to becoming a better athlete. So when you can train against that high level, if you see Terrell Heke shoots the heck out of the ball on that one, lines it up, drops it down. A lot of confidence, but when you can play against that level of competition in the guard spot, especially, you know, gleaming the info that Shea Illy has in his mind, playing with guys like Matthew Dellavedova, because he's doing the same stuff and he's passing that on. It is so key to your development as a young player.
Here's Evans Jr. defensively again. Just getting back to that last basket of Tyrell Cage Heke. He's another young man who has really grown in stature over the opening month and a bit of the season.
Yeah, he's got good size, really good length as well when he's challenging, but a bit of skill, not just a big man. And it's so key for this next generation of basketball player to always be a basketball player no matter the size. I remember on Aussie Young Kid coming up, when I hit 6 foot, they said, all right, go to the post, stay down there. And that's no longer the case. They're teaching everybody the same skill set no matter your height, and it really does form much better basketball players. Oh, nice little fake there.
On the turn, Riley Snow for two.
Beautiful little fake, turns the corner quickly. Defense recovers, but Snow able to get the left-handed finish after the little pass fake.
Here's Heke, already hit one from distance, this time through the key. Turns it over though, Webster. Another local youngster for the Sharks, Quake Webster. Few years in the program now. Burtonshaw for three.
Lets it fly. A bit of an awkward spin on that shot. Looked like it was didn't catch it cleanly, but zings the strings for three to get this Sharks team a wee bit closer. We're now up 7-5.
Looking for a foul there, Luca Richards. Burtonshaw was one of two youngsters from up north that the Sharks recruited in the preseason. Tukaha Cooper was one, and Dane Burtonshaw from the Taranaki Airs. Here's Webster, looks down at the feet for three. That one won't go down. Sharks do lead by two though, so they've steadied well.
Sharks find much more success when they attack the cup, as we see. Speaking about attacking the cup, Arthur Pilcher, he's got a lot of strength. He comes out aggressively in the Rapid League towards the rim. Look at this quick outlet, Caslow Evans Jr. kicking it ahead, seeing his teammates got it, and a beautiful spin move gets Joe Rui down on the baseline. It overcommits, takes away that, opens up the spin move back to the middle. Pilcher takes the hoop, the harm, and the old-fashioned three-point play for the Saints to take the lead.
Joe Reefy, by the way, who's on the floor, he was the late inclusion this afternoon ahead of this one, with Josiah Alec pulling out of tonight's game with a knee injury. Burtonshaw on the drive. Cleaned up by Dougal Meter. Pilcher again, loves that spin. This time, has he drawn contact? He has. So starting to become a little bit of a handful is Arthur Pilcher.
Good recognition of the advantage he has and trust in his physical abilities to get him down to the cup. But then we saw excellent patience, holding his feet, holding his balance. You know, quite often when you do that spin move, you don't explode right away. You'll get the happy feet, get called for traveling. But because of the balance that Pilcher had put on display, he's able to get to the Chemist Warehouse stripe, hits the first, and a chance to hit the second to stretch this lead out to 3.
The map Wellington Saints lead by 2. Under 20 seconds to play in this opening quarter. 4 by 4 minute quarters, of course, in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Threading the gap, Dane Burtonshaw adds 2.
Good read. Sees that the defense had overcommitted. Takes that driving lane instead of going out the other way. And then the Sharks do a nice job of getting back. Sean Bruce says, I'll touch the ball, see what it feels like.
Saints on the Southern swing, of course. Casey, they play the Sharks tonight and the Nuggets on Saturday. And then I think that is the end of the Sean Bruce stint here in the Sal's NBL this season. Buzzer sounds, 1 quarter down in the Rapid League tonight. And a nice close contest at 9 apiece. Sean Bruce, of course, heading off to get married. We wish him well.
Wish him well in the marriage and the wedding and all things. Wish him well heading back to Sydney with the Kings. A situation or a club that's in a bit of flux in itself, but doesn't have to worry about that. He's just got this game. Maybe this counts as a pre-honeymoon to Invercargill. Brought the missus down.
Of course it does.
And then off to get married soon. But yeah, congratulations to Sean. Fantastic for the Saints to be able to get him for the time being. As we take a look at the stats from the first quarter. Don't have all the wedding stuff to talk about, but have some statistical outliers as we take a look at things. The total rebounds 5-4 in favor of the Saints. Steals 1 to the Saints, just the 1 turnover in the quarter. Sharks shooting 66% from inside the arc, but just 20 from outside it. Saints 50 and 50 from both.
Speaking of 50, the FIBA starter from Sky Broadband, $50 a month for the first 12 months. Check it out, skybroadband.co.nz. Your segue on 50, Casey, was impeccable. The FIBA starter, great offer.
You can make a lot of passes, but somebody's got to catch them, Justin. So I appreciate the reception.
So 1 quarter down, 9 apiece early. Sharks coming in with some form. They've won their last 2 after losing their first 4 games of the season in this competition. Saints are 5-1 and in some real form themselves. Had a bit of travel, I should say, this Saints team. Of course, they were up in the mighty Manawatu a few days ago on Sunday against the Jets, and now on this southern swing. Going all the way to the basket and earning the 2. Well done, Caslow Evans Jr.
Saw Chris Tupou on the sideline. He liked that one, counted it with the full body as much as you can do with a couple of replaced hips. But Caslow Evans Jr., good penetration, staying aggressive. Finishing with that offhand as well. Back to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Completes it.
And he adds that one, Caslow Evans Jr., so he jumps up to 5 points in the game now. Early stages of this second. Here's Quake Webster. On the switch, Mounier defensively has Burtonshaw to beat, does really well. And Dougal Meter helping out. Here's Burtonshaw in the corner, loves a 3 from this spot. That one is well off.
Nice quick release, but Dougal Meter really closes that gap well, makes it a much more difficult shot than it needed to be.
Here's Evans Jr. You just cannot afford to give him a lane on that left side.
And he just keeps on just hunting that whistle. Not so much hunting it, but receiving it. I mean, his penetration, he's attacking, and the Sharks as a collective unable to stay in front or keep him from getting so deep in that painted area. They have no choice but to foul him.
Back to the Chemist Warehouse. First one is in and out. It's another busy week in the Sal's NBL. Amped April. Week 5 of season 2025. Bulls last night took down the Rams by 9. A thrilling 40-25 last quarter by the Bulls. Get them home. I think they had a pretty good record against the Rams last season as well, for memory.
Yeah, the 2-0 a season ago. The only team to beat them twice. Of course, the Rams only lost 3 games all season long, so they were probably pretty fortunate to avoid the Bulls in the finals.
Tuatara and the Panthers coming up tomorrow night. I'm hearing that's nearly a sellout, so you better get in and snap your tickets up quickly for that one. Big crowd expected at Event Finder. Munier, nowhere to go. Good defense from the Sharks, and they're up and running through Webster.
Sharks need to convert this. They've struggled in the half-court rate lately.
Ramage for 3. That won't go down. And nobody there to help Will Ledger off the boards. 2 games tomorrow night in the Sal's NBL. Friday night hoops. The Rams are at home to the Jets. Rams coming in off that loss to the Bulls. Jets coming in off that narrow, thrilling 1-point loss to the Saints. That'll be a good game.
That should be. That starting 5 of the Jets, they can score with anybody. Going to be a bit of a different kettle of fish going into the Cows' cauldron after they suffered a loss. Yeah, bringing the physicality. It is going to be a tough ask for the Jets front line to stand up to that Rams front line. We see the illegal screen there.
Quake Webster
just kind of drops the shoulder
and bounced off Arthur Pilcher. He's not the first player to bounce off Arthur Pilcher, I'll tell you.
It hits your ego with a blow when you get smashed over. When you get called for a whistle, but you're the one who gets smashed over. At least, if I'm going to get the foul, at least let me leave with the upper hand physically. But no, I'm on the ground. I feel like I got run over by a truck, and I get called for the foul.
Well, there's Pilcher. He's a cement truck. If we're going to talk trucks, he's a cement truck.
These penetration lanes. Nice dish to the corner.
There is Pilcher. Quick outlet. Oh, Pilcher, good hand in the lane there.
He tried to save it in the front court. He was worried about the back court, but I think he kind of might have been able to get away with that one.
Sharks haven't added a point in this second quarter yet. Collier looking to hand off. Burton Shaw searching, surrounded defensively, charging through Ledger.
Out of bounds. Was Pilcher on that one. Couldn't help it. Heke was trying to let him grab it there, drop it off, but goes out of bounds. I like that penetration. I like Burton Shaw's patience when he gets into the post, and good cut there by Ledger. Just need to find a way to finish that.
Here is Burton Shaw. Sends it out. Ledger through hands. Collier, little up fake. Handy stuff from the big fella. Can't finish underneath. Loose ball. Snow had it, lost it. And out of that, the Saints come up with it. Pilcher aggressively, as he always is.
This Saints team just too strong. They are imposing their will on the Sharks. It's only a 4-point difference on the scoreline, but the action has been all one way. The Saints getting to the line at will, consistently, just finding deep penetration as well. On the other end, the Sharks have been able to keep pace, but a lot of that's because of free throws, and just they don't have that same offensive penetration creating easy looks.
We were saying before we came on air tonight, Casey, that with the Sky Broadband Rapid League, you never know what you're going to get. Last night, 100 points in 16 minutes. What are we, less than 90 seconds away from halftime here, and it's 13-9.
We could get a solid 78 the rest of the way, Justin.
Anything could happen. Anything. Richards inside. Good use of the body, and a really handy finish from big Luka Richards.
These fouls are mounting for the Sharks. Just a dominant display there by Richards on the roll. Yeah, creating nicely off the on-roll, pick and roll action. Luka Richards getting the catch and not satisfied with the range he had. Attacks more. Free throws becoming a bit of a issue for the Saints.
He's another one who's starting to earn a little bit more time in the Sal's NBL as well for the Saints, Luka Richards.
Really need the size. They just don't have a lot of options behind Hiram Harris and Nick Muzinski. As we see, nice defense by Mounier. Luka Richards off to the races now.
Can run as well, can't he? Sends it out wide to Evans Jr. Dougal Meter just trails down the floor, does what he does best. Hand it over to me, son, and I'll nail the big triple.
You know, for your players that play high minutes on the NZNBL level, there's a couple of ways to approach this game. You can come out in the Rapid League and say, you know what, I'm going to score every bucket. I'm going to go out and I'm going to prove I'm as good as there gets at this level and keep it going. Or, you know, you can play it cool. You know, you can sit back and not really play too hard because you think, you know, oh, I got to save myself a little bit for the NZNBL minutes if you play big minutes. But what I like about Randy Marie Dougal-Meida is that he really tries to facilitate for other guys. But when he's got that shot, he'd say, okay, well, this is my job. I'm going to hit this one. I'm trying to get you guys hooked up everywhere else. But when I get this look, I'm going to take this look. And I like his approach to the game, and I think it prepares him well for the NZNBL as well.
Yeah, it's a really good call, Casey. I often think about, you know, the Rapid League or the NZNBL, and, you know, who are the first guys that I would pick in my team if I was to put a roster together. And got to say, Dougal-Meida in the Sky Broadband Rapid League is right up near the top. Just always gives something. Speaking of something, Dane Burtonshaw for 2, and that is the first score of this quarter for the Sharks.
And it has been a while between drinks. Dane Burtonshaw finally gets that penetration that's been missing. And this time the help didn't come, so it didn't force him into a second decision. He's able to get the hoop, get the harm, and a well-needed bucket that can lift the spirits of the Sharks offense just a bit.
Had a good chat with Dane on a flight last week, and just a quality young man, just really enjoying his basketball, really enjoying the opportunity and to head down south and start to carve out a career with the Sharks. Just a pleasant young man. A credit to his family, Dane Burtonshaw. Giving up that 3. Oh, look at Richards trying to drag that iron into the middle of next week. And that'll do us to the half, 18-11.
There it was. Would have been a heck of a finish if the Saints could have been pulled that one off. But I like Dougal-Meida drawing defenders and then dish it in there. Luka Richards just can't finish with the strength.
Well, there's going to be time on the clock, actually, because we've got a BNZ player timeout that's been called here. So there will be a matter of a second or less on the clock, I think. So BNZ player timeout taken. The Sharks very quick on that. There's the QR code for the first time tonight. Scan that for your chance to win tickets to the NZNBL this season with thanks to BNZ. And now with a late chance. Not sure
Another
what...
foul. That's a foul. Saints are going to shoot free throws. Almost like Quake Webster tried to pull that back after he let it go, but you can't pull it back in practice. It's not practice, young fella. Game time, and then lets that one squeak out. Mounier jumps on it, and then insult to injury, the foul with basically 0 seconds left. I'm sure they're going to put .2 or something back on there, but
I do like the fact that Quake was trying to explain to his teammates what he was trying to do there as well. Speaking of explaining, we'll explain this one to you. How about this? The team merch is officially up and online and available for all fans across the country. Sterling Sports, the official online store.
You like those jerseys?
Season 2025. Yeah, absolutely.
You like those jerseys? You can get them. Rapid League jerseys, NZNBL jerseys, they are all out there. We got to get in quick. It is going fast.
I'm a big fan of these 2 Rapid League jerseys, actually. I like them a lot.
I like the gold pinstripes. I'm a big fan of. I do actually like the maroon as well. It's on the simpler side.
Very traditional, isn't it?
For the simpler side for the Rapid League unis, but classic is sometimes good.
Got to say, a lot of people have been talking up the Jets Rapid League camo uniforms. I officially can't see them, but apparently they're out there somewhere.
So the call there is an unsportsmanlike foul and the ball on the sideline. So it's 2 free throws and the sideline, and we're going to call another play.
This game's going to go for about an hour and a half.
Player timeouts at the wazoo.
So you're spot on. It was an unsportsmanlike foul, which is why the Saints have come up with possession off those shots. And now they have a chat with half of a second on the clock. BNZ player timeout. There's the QR code again for you. Inspiring the next generation of basketballers. What a great program this is. The BNZ ticket to the big game. Here we go. Half a second to finish this first half. Great setup just a little bit too deep on that pass for Luca Richards. But you could see what the Saints were trying to do, and that'll do us.
Well,
opening half tonight, 20-11.
Are you sure? That was quite the last second and a half there. Stretched that one out a little bit, but the Saints able to get a couple of extra points. As we'll take a look at the Chemist Warehouse halftime stats. It has been a dominant second quarter by the Saints. They scored 11-2, led by Caslow Evans Jr. and Arthur Pilcher. Dane Burtonshaw doing the damage for the Sharks. Looking at the rebounds.
Riley Snow up and about.
Grabbing 7 of them already. Bringing Marie Dugumita leading the way for the Saints at 3. On the assist, just a couple of assists. You see the issue with the Sharks offense. It's all being created. Nobody playing defense above the rim today, but there are some defense beneath the rim. Son Mounier had 2 steals, including that one just before the half, which got the Saints a couple of extra points. And there you have the tail of the tape. Outside of that, it's 50% shooting for the Saints, just 30% for Southland. That includes 1 of 7 from behind the arc.
You can see Keelan Boone warming up there at the moment on the sidelines. He's in a bit of form at the moment. 30 points and 10 rebounds a game over his last 2 for the Sharks. Keep an eye on him tonight. Speaking of keeping an eye on things,
Large Brooklyn.
Large Brooklyn
pizza.
Look at that.
That's where it's at. South Score 25 is your online code, or use that QR code right now. Send to your local store. That is dinner sorted if you can get it. The Brooklyn, it's got some good flavors on the Brooklyn.
Well, what flavors has it got on there, Case?
Got your meatball. Got your sausage. I'm gonna have to look up the Brooklyn right now. I'm normally a pepperoni guy. I go half pepperoni, half veggie.
Oh, I know you do.
Myself.
I know you do. The large Brooklyn. That's this week's special.
I got the veggies so I can watch my waistline. You know, some mushrooms and a couple of capsicums. That saves me.
Official stats partner of the NZNBL, Chemist Warehouse. Leading scorers in this game so far. Dane Burtonshaw has 7 for the Sharks, leading the way for the Saints. Caslow Evans Jr. hasn't missed a shot. Oh, he has actually. He's missed 1 from the stripe. He's got 6 in the game. And I do like the fact that you're a man of your word, Casey, because as I speak, getting through the important stuff, you've now pulled up the Cells menu on your computer in front of you.
The Brooklyn is pepperoni, sausage, and meatball. I actually used to call that a meat party. Meat surprise, but Brooklyn is a much better name.
Don't say our commentary doesn't come with some added service. Second half underway. Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. Saints out by 9. Big second quarter for them. Can the Sharks get themselves back into this one? Burtonshaw, inside, outside. Collier gave up the shot. He doesn't mind a 3. Heads into the paint.
Ooh.
Little flick up and under. Just what the Sharks needed.
Displaying a little bit of skill. Gets under the hoop and the soft touch on the finger roll. It was George Gervin-esque.
Inside, Heke off the glass.
Nice strong move, able to drop his shoulder there. He's not the biggest guy, but you like the fact that he looked for the physicality there and was still able to get that finish.
Doesn't make many bad mistakes, Heke. His game is improving all the time. Ramage getting up, young man. Oh my.
Okay, just made a bad decision there. Actually went for the weak side help, left that driving lane open, and what a fantastic drive to the cup. Ramage gets the smash.
Smash indeed. Evans Jr. looking to respond. Here he is again, the youngster, taking his opportunities. Jack Ramage.
That might be a charge,
wow.
Yeah, I like the aggression, though. You got that last one to the cup. You're full of fury as we take a look at the kick to the corner. A little shot fake, come down your lane, in your living room. Heke
Getting up.
on the head. Quick Webster wants to get in on the celebration as well. You can feel a little bit of energy in the gym after that one.
Do we go with it now that Jack Ramage just did some damage?
Jack Ramage on the rampage.
Man, that was nice. Back to within 7.
Jack Ramage, you don't want him to see him anywhere around the rimmage.
Heke. Oh, that's what I'm talking about with this young man. He just makes good decisions.
Counts the save. He says, you might have dunked it, but I got the end-one opportunity down here. Shows that strength once again. Nice pass there. Eventually by Dugumita, and then Heke comes in, feels the contact. He's able to still settle himself, get the finish, the hoop, the harm, and another chance for three.
And he does just that from the Chemist Warehouse.
Love that kind of response after getting dunked on. Because I'll tell you what, if you play good defense and you're a big man, you will get dunked on, and you will get dunked on a lot as we see another tray ball dropped.
Burtonshaw.
It's up to double-digit scoring for Burtonshaw now, feeling good from outside.
He's one of the best three-point shooters on the floor right now. Him and Dougal Meter own that space.
What a step by Caslow Evans Jr. That was unbelievable how he slowed it down there to keep himself from traveling. Possession ends up empty for the Saints in the end.
Ramage brings it in. Webster up the floor, midway through the third. Sharks are just in touching distance here. Can they get something out of this? Burtonshaw calling up the screen. Surrounded defensively through hands. Ramage just takes it and goes. Fantastic work by Jack Ramage, unable to finish at the hoop, but man, he moved quickly when he caught the Molten.
And the shot's coming up with a bit more pace now. Saints looking to activate in transition, and the Sharks playing with a bit of pace in the half court.
Burtonshaw in two minds there, took the quick shot.
Yeah, that's a scorer's mind. He's like, I'm letting this one go. I'm going to do a little heat check, see if I got it. That's the thing about our shooters. When they're on, they shoot until they're off. When they're off, they shoot until they're on.
Nothing more certain. Speaking of shooters, Casey.
Case in point.
Rangi Matier, Dougal Meter just adds a big three.
Just misses the last one, doesn't stop him on the next one. Nice rotation by Pilcher. Little handoff. Quick Webster anticipating that screen and gives that little bit of space that a good shooter needs to get that shot off. Good read by Dougal Meter to see that the defender had crept away from him, and he had the space to drain the triple.
He hit 6 threes earlier this season in the Southland NBL against the Sharks, Dougal Meter. Is that a play on the ball by the man we're just talking about?
Yeah, it's a professional foul there. He knew he was out of the play, and gambled at half court, opened that driving lane for Webster, and Webster collapses the defense, and instead of giving up an open jump shot, just grabs the foul. Does Dougal Meter.
Shea Illy comes in for his first game of the season tonight for the Saints.
Really interested to see what his playing schedule looks like coming back to form. Will always be in great shape, but just probably going to be looking to gently ease his way back into things.
Minutes restriction tonight, you would have thought?
Yeah, I would expect so.
55 seconds to play. Turnover. Nearly. Not a great pass. Sharks very, very lucky to get away with that. There's been a ton of signings in the Australian NBL over the last week or so, Casey. Many featuring Kiwis, of course.
Ooh.
Unlucky there, Luca Richards.
Oh my, that looked like a clean pickpocket.
Shea Illy being one of those players returning to Melbourne United.
Yeah, not a surprise. Him and Dean Vickerman have been so closely joined at the hip since his return over there. Of course, played with him over with the Breakers previously to that. And first when Dino was an assistant coach, and the Breakers' loss is certainly Melbourne United's gain. The defensive player of the year was a key signing to hold on to, especially once they squad lost Matthew Dellavedova. So he'll be that foundation, and it won't be too much time next year, I would expect. That's going to be a lot more of the ball in his hands at the end of games.
Speaking of the Breakers under new ownership, Carlin Davison has signed, Ruben Tarangi as well. Pilcher with a chance there. Oh, Munia just picking up the scraps.
He's been doing a great job of being in the right place at the right time today.
Now on the attack, Dougal Meter. They've got some time here. Shot clock down to 6 now. Evans Jr. sizing up his options around Reefy, up and under. Richards underneath, should finish and does. That'll count.
Oh, that's going to be close. I think they're going to have a talk about where the foul occurred, because that's right next to the shot clock going off. Beautiful move. Doesn't hit the rim though, as you can see. Really nice rebound by Richards. Goes a little bit out of his cylinder to get it. And here's the discussion. He caught it and he goes up for it. Was the foul there? There's no foul there. Let's see. Let's keep this angle wide so we can see what the refs say.
I do like the fact that the barter card officials are having a long discussion about this, talking through every point. What have they come up with? Points are going to be good, I think. And the basket will count, will it? And Luca Richards will be off to the Chemist Warehouse. Although, no, we're going to have another chat here, Casey. Just, in fact, Sam Pan's going to come over now. And
that's it. Get the crew chief in there. You know, this is too much. Hey, guys, rapid league. Rapid league.
Yeah, we know the contact was on the arm. Lip readers, let's see if we can work this out. I'll tell you the biggest winner out of this discussion right now is barter card.
Personally, yeah, we're always happy as barter card when the officials get mentioned.
All right, what do we got?
No basket. So the basket's not going to count. The foul is on the catch.
Right, there we go.
Not on the shot. So that's why the shot clock goes off. The basket does not count. Foul on the catch, so 2 free throws.
Well explained as always, Casey.
And occasionally I'm right.
And Luca Richards is just waiting for his opportunity at the Chemist Warehouse. Saints out by 8, still a quarter to play in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight.
The Sky Broadband, sometimes Rapid League.
Well, definitely not Rapid at the moment. Taking their time, aren't they? Here we go.
Off to the Chemist Warehouse, Luca Richards for 2. And I like to see him attacking the rim. We saw that rim attack earlier, trying to get the dunk. The aggression, the mindset. He's got that physical skill set where he can play above the rim.
Nails both of them. Mentioned a couple of Kiwis had signed for the Breakers. Isaiah Liafa is another one. We're going to see him in action tonight.
Yeah, 1 year sojourn to Sydney. And like most Kiwis, finds out that Australia is not that great.
Oh, hello. Thanks very much. What about the basket there from Joseph Reefy?
Reefy doing it. He says, I'm going to use my call up wisely. Just put me in, coach. I'll get the bucket. Putting a little bit of English. Ball on the glass. Cuts it to an 8-point deficit. As this Shark squad has struggled to keep pace at times with the Saints, but when they're scoring with style.
So 3 quarters down, 1 to go in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. It's been a bit of a journey so far, hasn't it? Saints leading this one. There's the large Brooklyn pizza again this week's special with thanks to Sal's. That's available until next Tuesday.
It's got all your meats, the pepperoni, the sausage, the meatball. What says Brooklyn more than meatballs?
You should work in advertising, Casey.
I did that, Dash.
What do the Sharks got to do here? They're just hanging around, aren't they? Of course, the Saints pulled clear in that second quarter, 11-2 run. The Sharks actually won that third quarter, 11-10.
Well, for me, it's about the triples. They're just shooting 22% from deep right now, and they're doing a decent job enough everywhere else except for the turnovers. 6 turnovers and not good enough from deep. The shooting percentage is actually exactly the same for both teams, 42% overall. But it's 1 more triple made by the Saints and 5 more free throws. Those 5 trips, extra attempts at the Chemist Warehouse stripe on twice as many attempts is what the real difference in this ball game is right now.
Yeah, and from those extra opportunities, they've added 5 more points as well. So 1 to play. Saints with the opening possession. And you would think 1 or 2 early baskets here for the team in black and gold will just about end this one.
I like when they come out with this pace, really trying to get things off. Determined little play there to get Caslow Evans Jr. the ball up top.
Take some contact from from Quake Webster. And Evans Jr. seen this throughout the entire season. He's just got that little shimmy and shake on contact, and he does very, very well to earn the whistle, doesn't he?
Yeah, just unfortunately decided to pass that one. Once you hear that whistle, get that shot up. He'll be at the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Here he is, left to right through traffic, tough in the end, and again whistle going the way of Evans Jr.
He's just looking for the bodies of the defenders in there, making that contact, staying grindy, and the Southland Sharks up to this point have just been unable to play physically without fouling. Once you make that contact on a driver, you have to be in a legal guarding position in front. And if you keep moving, you move those hips into them, you're going to keep on sending them to the line, which is where the Saints are making a living.
Sal's NBL tonight. Tukaha Cooper starting for the Sharks. A late out for the home team. No Josiah Alec. Saints to go again. Pilcher had it, lost it, sent it back into play. And now straight away, Reefy up the court to Collier. Again, he gives up the three. Webster.
Second time's a charm, no.
Straight down to Riley Snow. Inside, turning around. That's his look.
Oh, my. Halfway down. The iron, unkind.
Oh, great work through traffic.
That's beautiful.
Mooney did really well there. Oh, Evans Jr. got the friendly roll.
Well, that's basketball. The road team gets the home roll. So these are not the softest rims in the league. To get a roll like that, you have some fortune smiling on you.
Speaking of home teams, if you love your home team strip this season, check it out. Sterling Sports, the official online partner for all team merch. Scan that QR code and you can go through and purchase your favorite team, your favorite colors, and your favorite strips in season 2025. Collier inside, Snow, one opportunity, goes back after it. Saints come up with it. Look at him run, spread the floor really, really quickly. On the trail, Hecker for three, short of the iron.
Well, it's just a tough night for the Sharks. The ball is not bouncing their way. Some really nice looks, but don't get the points to finish up with it.
Collier, big and strong underneath.
He could certainly impose his will a little bit more in this game. And then we saw him pass up a couple of threes on a few possessions ago. He's more comfortable going to the basket there, but he needs to let it fly a little bit from deep as well.
Saints searching for their 6th win of the season. Mooney unable to convert there. Webster.
Nice read by Mooney, but just a little bit late. Gets the contact on Snow instead, and that'll be a foul.
Caslow Evans Jr. in amongst his team. He's a real talker as well. If you haven't been out to a game and seen Caslow Evans Jr., he's pretty busy out there. Twitchy, as you like to say, Case.
Definitely less twitchy than Tuka or than some of the other players. Tatui Lewis.
That's who you were thinking of. Good basket there for the Sharks. Timely. They're within 7, 150 to play. Turn of speed again. Pilcher, Dougal Meter on the turn. Ends up with Evans Jr. He'll fire from 3. Underneath, Pilcher straight out, and they reset. This is smart. Use the time.
Heads up play by the young Saints.
Evans Jr.
Just great balance. Comes into that jump stop, takes the contact, because he lands on 2 feet. He's able to reset, rebalance, and get that finish.
That should be enough, you would think, if you're a Saints fan. Burtonshaw pulls up for 2. May get it back. He does. Snow thumped that one out. Ramage for 3.
Do it at the rim. Do it from deep. And this one's not just yet in the chili bin.
Some more damage from Ramage. We're back to 6. Dougal Meter, Mounier found Richards inside. The big men collide.
Luka Richards dropping that shoulder on that attack there. Aggressive offense by the Saints, not happy to just let the clock run out. Some thread the needle passes on the backdoor cuts, and then finally on the interior, Luka Richards, the recipient of the final one, that's going to get him to the Chemist Warehouse for 2.
The former Jet, Luka Richards. First one is short. He's been busy tonight. Chemist Warehouse stat sheet for Luka Richards. Hasn't shot particularly well. 1 of 5, 4 points for him, 3 rebounds. He has been to the Chemist Warehouse stripe a few times. 3 of 5 now. Webster through traffic. Burtonshaw up fake, dribble to the left. Down it goes. Another 3 for Dane Burtonshaw.
Nice use of the up fake. Rebalances himself nicely after Gets the defender to fly by, drains that one, and now it's just 4 points the difference. But stop here, and you never know what might happen.
He's got 13 in the game now, game high, Dane Burtonshaw.
Excellent defense there too. Shot clock seems like it should be a little bit lower than this.
Webster with the foul. That'll put Evans Jr. to the coloured stripe. You're right though, out of nowhere, the Sharks have got this back to 4.
Good foul there. Regardless of what happens on this one, if I'm the Sharks, I'm taking my player timeout. Save the clock, send it up to the front court. If he makes 2, we make it 3. We're still just down 1 possession. First one good for Caslow Evans Jr.
4 of 6 tonight from the Chemist Warehouse. Sal's NBL coming your way, 7 p.m. local time here in New Zealand. From the deep south tonight at ILT Stadium, Southland.
So no player timeout. I'm a little surprised they're not calling it, because time is the thing that you need most. You need a quick possession here, and that would extend the game. By not calling a timeout here, I think they pretty much sealed their fate.
So ball into Burtonshaw. Got to go quickly. Searching. Collier. Corner. Ramage. That one doesn't go down, and the Saints will just take their time here. They're not in a rush. They'll burn some seconds. Down to 8. Sharks back off, not even stepping forward with the pressure or the foul, and Munier says, okay, give me the lane, and I'll add another 2.
Well, player timeout gets called maybe possession late. Beautiful little blow by Munier. Riley Snow saying, where's my help? Hey guys, I don't know if you noticed this, but that's a guard. Somebody come help me. Last timeout of the game called by the Southland Sharks for your BNZ player timeout. And this is your chance to get a ticket to the big game. Thanks to BNZ, giving tomorrow's stars a chance to catch the game up close. Scan that code for a chance for you to win tickets to this season's games.
Such a good program, that BNZ ticket to the big game. Late shot, and that one is short for Dane Burtonshaw. So that'll do us in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight. 73 points scored in the end. It was slow going early, but definitely opened up in the second half. The Saints put 40 on the board. They get home by 7. And a lot of good stories out of this one as we have a look at the Chemist Warehouse stats.
Yeah, 40 on the board, 42 points scored in the second half by both teams. Equal lead scorers, Burtonshaw and Caslow Evans Jr., 13 apiece. Well supported across the board by both squads. Into the glass. That was in the favor of the Saints by 1 on the night. Not because of the efforts of Riley Snow, though. 10 rebounds. Great effort on the glass. Pilcher leading the way for the Saints, and a multitude of Saints on 3.
Well, that's a blizzard off the boards for Riley.
It's a blizzard. It is solid. Well done. 2 assists apiece for Burtonshaw, Evans, Pilcher, and Munier. Leading to the defensive powerhouses on the blocks, of which there were none, but a lot of steals. I saw Munier, the leader, didn't get any from halftime.
So that'll do us. Thursday night hoops, 1 down tonight. Sky Broadband Rapid League. The Saints with their 6th win of the season. They get home by 7. And all roads now lead to the Sal's NBL. Coming your way, 7 p.m. local time here in New Zealand. Sharks up against the Saints. Should be a good one. We'll see you soon. Kia ora everyone, no mai hara mai, hello and welcome Thursday Night Hoops in the Sal's NBL. Great to have you with us. Amped April, certainly amped up tonight for the Sharks and the Saints, two combatants who have a very close rivalry over the last 10 to 15 years. The Saints have had the upper hand in recent times. Justin Nelson with you tonight, sitting right alongside me, four-time Sal's NBL champ, played one or two games for New Zealand along the journey as well. Actually, one or two over 100. Casey Frank, good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Justin. Fantastic to be here. Let's get things started by taking a look at the mixedandpick.com poll. Got 18% of very confident Sharks fans, but I gotta say I'm with those other Saints fans because there's been a late out, which we will tell you about soon.
Yeah, there's a big out for the Sharks. Let's have a look at the ladder as it sits at the moment. Just one game has been played in week 5 so far. That was last night. The Bulls getting home over the Rams, 103 to 94. What a big win that was, 40 to 25. In the last quarter. And look at that, with that win, the Bulls go top of the table.
So big, they get up to the top of the table. The Rams, everybody thought was pretty much unbeatable a week ago, suddenly very beatable. As we take a look at the bottom half of the ladder, we see the Sharks down there at 2-4, but not too far out of things. If they get a win, they are right back in the mix. Of course, they're eyeing later in the season when Sam Timmons will arrive, and they got to hold the fort till then.
Yeah, things can turn around very, very quickly, can't they, from week to week. Here's what's coming up. This is on the menu in round 5. There's a lot to like about these games. Tuatara and the Panthers expecting a big crowd at Event Finder tomorrow night. I'm hearing that's nearly a sellout, so you better grab your tickets. Also down at Cal Stadium tomorrow night, the Rams and the Jets, both of those teams coming in off a loss. There's going to be some fireworks. Saturday action, Nuggets and the Saints. Saints on the southern swing. Giants still searching for their first win of the season. They take on the Fi Saturday night. Two games on Sunday, Casey. Tuatara up against the Hawks. That'll be a beauty, actually. Some Illawarra Hawks teammates, championship teammates going head-to-head. And the Jets on Sunday night play the Airs. Let's not forget, those two teams have already played earlier this season, and the Jets got up.
And we take a look at the starting fives for the Saints here. Nick Marshall, Isaiah Leafa, Sean Bruce, Hiram Harris, and Nick Muzinski. No Shea Ili in the lineup yet, but he has suited up.
One of the best sixth men in the competition is Rangi Maria Dougal Meter, and we had a chance to have a chat with him just before tonight's game.
Well, Marnie, welcome South. Talk us through how the week's gone.
Yeah, it's been a good week. We played 1-2 on Sunday, had the day off.
That was good work. I went right into it. Well, Marnie, welcome South. Talk us through how the week's gone.
It's been a good week. We played on Sunday against 2 and then had the day off Monday, trained Tuesday, Wednesday, and then flew down after we trained yesterday. So, yeah, it's been a good week of training. Good to be here. Good weather today, so grateful.
Quite handy to add a bloke like Shea Ili to the mix this past week too. How much excitement's that added to the group?
Yeah, not bad. He's all right. Nah, it's really cool. It's cool for the youngins and people like me. I've never played with Shea before and played against him a lot of times and looked up to him since a youngin. So he obviously brings a lot, even just knowledge. In the film sessions this week, he points out a lot of things and asks questions and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I can learn things in that way off the court as well. So it's good.
And what about the Sharks as a challenge here in Invercargill tonight?
It's always a challenge down here in the Shark Tank. We played the Sharks 2 weeks ago, so we've scouted them already, know what to expect, know kind of the players to look out for and stuff like that, but we always know the Sharks playing at home is a different team to when we played them in Wellington. So yeah, we're excited, we're ready, and we're ready to go, yo.
Good stuff, mate. Enjoy it out there.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
Love what Rangi Maria brings to this Saints team, and terrific to hear just him talk about Shea Ili and the immediate impact that he has brought as well. Here's the starters for the Sharks. Now, there is a big out. Late today, it was announced that Josiah Alec would miss the game with a knee injury. So he's a late out. Tukaha Cooper comes into this starting unit.
Yeah, literally and figuratively. He is basically all the size that the Sharks have been able to depend on this season, averaging a double-double. So without him, this becomes a much smaller, much quicker team. Nick Muzinski, he's going to have a bit of a field day on the glass.
You would think so. Captain, of course, is Alonzo Burton. Let's go and check in with him.
Also, he looks like you got to sweat up and you're ready to go. Pretty important night tonight. Talk us about how the team's gone this week.
Well, obviously, not much time to prepare coming back from Auckland. So I think we had a day to rest and then we're back on court. So not a hell of a lot to prepare, but it's lucky that we've played them before, so we know what they do. And they embarrassed us, for lack of a better word, in Wellington. So we want to come out and show that we've made growth and that we've got better since that game. So yeah.
No Josiah Alec tonight, right? So that's a big piece, big hole, quite literally, to try and fill, yeah?
Yeah, of course. And Josiah gives us so much defensively, offensively, but it's just next man up, like other teams are going to go through it as well, and we're experiencing it with Josiah, and we've got players that we trust that can come in and fill that role. So it's going to be a team effort against a good Wellington outfit. Yeah.
Wish you well, mate. Good luck out there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Third game in 6 days for the Southland Sharks, and they are going to have to shuffle the deck chairs tonight because Josiah Alec is going at 21 points and 10 rebounds a game. Chemist Warehouse head-to-head for this one. There's the current form. The good news for the Sharks is they're coming in off a win. Saints have been in a bit of form, and that Alec top scorer, that is a big, big blow.
It certainly is. Without Josiah Alec out there, it's going to be difficult. And Keelan Boone has been shooting the ball very well. He's made more threes in his last 2 games than nearly made the entire rest of the season. Nick Marshall, a fantastic scorer, especially in transition. Caleb Asbury coming off 13 assists last time out against the Panthers, coming up against Sean Bruce, who's been guiding things for the Saints along with Isaiah Leafa. But one thing that Sharks can take heart with is this Saints squad has been giving up big leads. Double-digit lead against the Manawatu Jets. Double-digit lead was about 15 points. That came down to the wire. They only win by 1. 27-point lead against the Franklin Bulls. The Bulls brought it all the way back to 4 points. So even if this one starts to go wayward, the Saints have a tendency to keep that door open.
Yeah, Boone had a great night out on this floor less than a week ago. 35 points he hit against the Tuatara. The Sharks went down in that one by 10 before heading to the big smoke up north and taking care of business against the Panthers as they come together. And you can just see there just how short they are tonight.
And it's not that Josiah Alec was the tallest player in the competition. He's not a huge player size-wise, but he plays big. He put a lot of heart of his shoulder. He'd be out there, he's banging around. There you see Alec in the background. You can't miss that hair. That guy needs a Pantene ad.
Well, the Saints are in white tonight. They are at full strength. Sean Bruce is here for the Southern Swing before he heads off to get married. We wish him all the best for that. Be interesting to see whether Shea Illy steps out and plays tonight. We didn't see too much of him in the warm-up. So if we do see him, it'll be on restricted minutes. Barter card officials for this one. Thursday night hoops in the NZNBL. Sharon Martin, Sam Pan and Blake Rosanowski.
Blake Rosanowski. Sam, a great officiating crew coming across there, and good to see, of course, the Saints are coming out ready to play. When I look at this lineup, if I'm the Saints, I'm just pounding that ball inside. Straight to Mazinski right off the bat. A lot of action with Hiram Harris catching the ball at the elbow and putting 1-2 dribbles onto the floor. And if I'm Coach Aaron Young and the Saints team isn't attacking the offensive glass on every possession, I'm going to go ahead and get some more subs in there.
Well, Hiram Harris is one of the best rebounders in the competition, going a touch under 11 per game. Nick Mazinski, one of the best blockers in the game. In fact, he may be leading the lead in blocks. But there's others who get amongst it as well off the glass. Nick Marshall's had a very good season thus far. 20 points and 6 rebounds a game. Congratulations to him. He's just signed a contract with Tasmania Jack Jumpers.
Yeah, nice to see him get a 2-year deal after basically being shown the door by Adelaide. As they recruited over him with a bevy of players, including Finn Cameron, who's heading over there. But going to be an interesting year. A lot of churn on the rosters in Australia. Let's see who came out on top with that free agent period.
Here we go. Thursday night hoops. Sal's NBL underway. Saints to get the opening chance here as they set up through Bruce and Harris. Moving the ball through hands. We've seen so much of it already early in this season. Liafa from downtown. That one just misses. They come up with it again. Mark that down as number 1 OREB in the end. They can't convert.
Man, nice looks. You like that attack and that unselfishness off the offensive glass to kick it outside. But my first thought, if I'm on the Saints tonight, is I'm putting that back in. I'm hammering that nail myself.
Boom, deep 2, back of the iron, rebound Marshall.
Really quick team for the Sharks as well. You're going to see a lot of switching for them out there, probably doubling it in the low post. But I want to see him push things in transition. Try and fight fire with fire with the speed that they have.
Johnny Halou on Nick Mazinski there a moment ago. They've got the switch now with Boone. So probably a missed opportunity there for the Saints. To your point about pounding the ball inside, they need to get their eyes up and see those mismatches.
And it's an easy game right now if that's what you want to do. Just put guys on the block and get them to work. You don't need to do the fancy pass. You don't have to work things around. Just be physically bigger and stronger than your opposition.
Sean Bruce has the matchup on Alonzo Burton. Here's Boone. Surrounded by white singlets. Gets the shot up.
Little surprised that it's Nick Marshall guarding Boone out there and not Hiram Harris.
And again, still no score in this one after 90 seconds. Both teams have had their chances. Johnny Halou, former Saint himself. Asbury, Tukaha Cooper gets the start tonight, and what a way to start for the young Northlander.
Drains it, gets it going right off the bat. Put me in the starting lineup, coach, and I'll deliver.
And we know he can score as well, Case. Keep an eye on him, Tukaha Cooper. Might fly under the radar here this evening.
Really nice defense on Hiram Harris. Probably had a good argument at the charge. Doesn't get it, but another stop for the Sharks.
Asbury for 3. Had a long look at that one. Slow going early. Mazinski the target inside. Sharks get an early win there.
And if I'm Coach Aaron Young, I'm concerned about this start. One of the most difficult things to do is get a team keyed up for an opponent that you think you're better than. And not only did they think they're better than the Sharks lost a little bit of talent, so that made the Saints relax a little bit more. We're only 3 minutes in, but you don't like to see this lackadaisicalness, not taking care of the basketball, not attacking the rim enough, not imposing their will early in the game.
Tukaha Cooper.
5 points, coach. I can do it from outside, I can do it from in. Strong move, gets the bucket, and the Sharks with the early lead.
Good start at the Shark Tank for the team in orange. Saints 4-2 on the season. Sharks 2-4. There we go, the Saints with their opening points of the night.
Oh, that's a pure stroke. A nice screen there by Bruce after he drops it off. See Alonzo Burton complaining about it a bit.
Johnny Halou from deep.
I like that shot, though. Keep Nick Mazinski honest. If he's going to be guarding me, I'm going to have to shoot that ball to force him out of the paint.
Bruce wants Hiram Harris down low on Cooper. Mazinski wants it upstairs. He's just lurking at the moment under the basket. There he is, the big fella. The American goes up, and 2 for Nick.
And that's the play I'm talking about for Nick Mazinski. Catch and finish around the hoop. No offensive rebound kickouts today. All putbacks. Nice job by Hiram Harris trying to get big on Tukaha Cooper, and we're all tied up.
Cooper to Boone. Harris with the job on Keelan Boone. Now it's handed over to Liafa. Boone drains the triple. He's in some form right now.
He's shooting the ball very well. You mentioned the 11 threes. Or 10 threes in his last 2 games before shooting 11 in his previous 3. So he's certainly trending in the right direction.
He's averaging 30 points a game in his last 2. That's how good he's going right now. Marshall got Asbury off the floor. Tries to make him pay. Can't do it. Oh, there's a foul over the back here on Mazinski. Sharks will be happy to see Nick Mazinski with 1 foul beside his name.
And of course, he's going to have to be careful about that. Doesn't want to impose his will too much. And looks like Mazinski heads to the bench after getting that whistle.
I don't mind that sub from Aaron Young.
You don't want Nick Mazinski to get those whistles early. And you got Luka Richards. You think he can throw his weight around a little bit. He's got a similar size advantage, but that's not who they sent into the game. They went the other direction.
Yeah, Shea Illy, see him for the first time this season. Saints force a turnover.
Here's the question is answered. Where are we going to see a lot of Shea Illy tonight? First sub off the bench. And now this is a heck of a 3-guard lineup for the Saints.
I was going to say, what an embarrassment of Riches to have Bruce, Illy, and Liafa out there. Speaking of which, the ladder.
Shea Illy, I thought, had a driving lane there. Instead, he sets it up. But Saints actually playing into the hands of the Sharks right now, going small, saying, well, we'll match you. We won't impose our advantages. We'll instead match what you're doing.
Here's Asbury, as you said, 13 assists last time out. He's just searching at the moment. Burton, corner, Hillu with some confidence, rims in and out.
And the switching defense for the Saints had Boone downstairs with Bruce, but they couldn't find him in the high-low. End up with a contested Hillu shot out of the corner.
That basket won't count. Shea Illy in uniform tonight for the Mills Albert Wellington Saints. Fantastic to see him back in the Sal's NBL. What a star he has been over the years, Shea Illy.
Now he's taking a little bit of his zone action.
I like the change up from the Sharks. Constantly thinking here. Bruce, can he make them pay? He can't. Underneath. Harris with the rebound. Good hands, Caleb Asbury.
And that's the play I'm talking about. Don't kick it out. Punish them for getting that offensive rebound. Use your physicality.
Hillu, Burton well set. Usually nails those. Rebound, Liafa, the pass to Bruce. A hand in there from Alonzo Burton. He thought it was clean.
Yeah, I think that's the head. Normally when you see a shooter get by like that and get the pin on, clean block up top, but a little bit of other activity sending Bruce to the line to try and cut this to a 1-point deficit.
I was on a flight with Alonzo Burton last week and just asked him how things are going, and he said pretty good, but who gave us 3 games in 6 days?
Well, first of all, is 3 games in 6 days hard? That's a day off in between. What are we talking? What do you want, more trainings though? Come on now.
Well, who knows, Jonathan Yim, how hard he's been training the team. Sean Bruce.
I know the answer, Justin. There's no basketball player that wants more training. They want games. That's just proof to me that Zoe's really turned into a veteran if he's complaining about the 3 games in 6 days.
Sean
Asbury coming off to the races.
He did too. Sean Bruce, who just nailed a couple from the Chemist Warehouse. I think he's 25 of 28 from the stripe so far this season. That's impressive.
It's not bad. He is doing a nice job at the top of the free throw count.
Turnover there.
Sloppy basketball.
Yeah. Really
sloppy for the Saints there. Not locked in on this end.
Asbury had a sneaky look. Boone now for 3. Can't put that away. Competitive start by the Sharks, except for that. Straight down the alley. Shea Illy.
Looking for the 10 commandments when the seas part like that. Shea Illy with the smash. First bucket in the Saints uniform this season. Welcome back.
Burton for 3. I reckon even he was surprised there just how open it was. Here he is again.
Well, why not this time again?
Draws a foul. Low-scoring contest tonight in the Sal's NBL. It's been an awkward start. Here it is again. Have a look at this GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Hello.
We're going to have to go back to some beyond what our viewers' age range is, but that's some Charleston Heston stuff right there.
Oh, I like that.
You see, that is straight 10 commandments. Seas have parted.
I like your movie knowledge, Case. Very strong. Dougal Meter into the action. And again, Illy just feeling it right now. Through hands. Here's the flamethrower. Down it goes. Rangi Marier, Dougal Meter.
Just really nice unselfish play there. Illy draws multiple defenders. Delivers a beautiful pass. And the extra pass after that gives Dougal Meter the space to hit it.
Boone's already hit a 3. He's got a second. Sharks respond.
Yeah, it looks like the Saints are starting to grab a little bit of control there. More penetration, fast break opportunities, but this 3-point shot of Boone is key.
On the attack, Shea Illy.
I mean, you're not going to guard this guy one-on-one. He is just a tremendous penetrator. And right now they've got help that's a little bit spread out. When Shea Illy's got that one-on-one matchup, no guard coming, you need to have somebody sitting in the middle of the key, forcing Shea Illy to go someplace else with it, because he is just dissecting this defense up. at the moment.
Such a big in, isn't he? 3-point play from the Chemist Warehouse is good.
You know, when he was signed previous to him missing a bit of time at the end of the Australian NBL season, he was a lot of players pick not only for Defensive Player of the Year, but also Guard of the Year as well. And he certainly has that kind of talent.
Asbury, that one well away to the left. Ledger keeps it in. Straight to the Saints, though. They're on the attack again. Dougal Meter, catch and shoot. Unable to convert.
Good look, really nice offense by the Saints.
Oh, Ledger, some happy
Ledger.
feet there. Yeah.
Just a little bit jabby. Certainly must have been expecting the ball. He's looking around like he wasn't, though. But when you're running down the lane and it's open in front of you, you should hope that thing's coming to you. So you got to keep those hands ready.
Of course, the second edition of the mid-season trade window in the Sal's NBL coming up in about 4 weeks' time, Casey. It'll be interesting to see if these two teams make a move. I think we're going to see a bit more movement this year.
Heard some rumors that some coaches have been on the line to one another, trying to work some things out. No offense to the players that are going to get traded.
Oh, it's also about opportunity, isn't it? Another turnover for the Saints. That's been really their only downfall early in this game. They've had a few of them. Cooper's had a few baskets. There's his third, young man. He's up to 8 points.
Sharks play with a lot of freedom, which you love to see. Nobody believes in them right now except for them, and they're right here in this ball game early.
Tugar Cooper lighting it up. Dougal Meter. That one doesn't go down. Loose ball off hands. Mazinski just sneaks his way through. One effort. 2 efforts.
Get out of my way, Hiram. These are my buckets. Nick Muzinski Moose taking him to the cup after a couple of 0 boards.
He's got 4 points, 4 rebounds already in this contest tonight.
He just looks like one of those guys you hate to play. Just grindy on you all the time, real physical. Has those wide shoulders, so he's able to make contact from halfway across the court.
Harris, speaking of wide shoulders, that'll count for Hiram Harris. We saw Nick Muzinski, Casey, earlier this week. In fact, Sunday it was, up in the Manawatu against the Jets, and we were just talking about the season he's had so far. Here's the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay on Hiram Harris. Nick Muzinski's flown under the radar a little bit, hasn't he? He's been very quietly amassing some very solid numbers.
Yeah, it's been really impressive what he's been able to pull off up to this point in the season. I think defensively, you know, he had the 6-block game. He's still averaging 2 blocks a game. But his steadiness and his ability to be there, it doesn't do a lot of things wrong. He's always in the right spot to be a receiver, the low block or the dunker spot, and just doing a lot of that dirty work for this Saints squad this season.
15 points, 9 rebounds a game for the big Saints, number 33. Burton would love a 3 there. It looked a little bit rushed in the end. Saints come up with it. Dougal Meter, he's getting a lot of nice looks early in this game.
A lot of looks for the Saints early in this one, but they haven't been able to hit a ton of them. The scoring has picked up for the Saints after a slow start early, though.
Bruce, he draws some contact and puts it down. What about the finish there from the 34-year-old? Look at this.
Real determined drive. Nice read off the screen. Gets the switch. Attacks right away. And then feels the contact. Knows the whistle's going to come his way. That's basically just, I'll just toss it up. Okay. See what happens.
Okay, Brucey.
See what happens. I'll take the bucket. Give me the bucket. Send me off to the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
He's done that a few times over the years, hasn't he? And he continues to convert from the stripe. Best in the business this season so far. And don't forget, Casey, of course, every made basket from the Chemist Warehouse stripe this season, a little bit of money goes into the pot to raise some valuable funds for hoops in schools and hoops in parks. Well done, Chemist Warehouse, and to all the players in the Sal's NBL. Please keep hitting those shots.
Keep hitting those shots from the free throw stripe.
Dying seconds. Sharks started well. Saints have responded. They're out by 8. Sharks would love something late here. It's not going to happen. Maybe a chance for the Saints. Harris, did he get it up? No, he didn't.
Well, hand was up. They might have been saying that was going to count. He just missed it.
So that'll do us after 1 here tonight. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching throughout New Zealand and around the world. Saints lead by 8. No more hockey, Maya. Welcome back to the Shark Tank tonight in the Deep South, ILT Stadium, Southland. These two combatants lock horns yet again, and the Saints lead at quarter time. Slow start. Sharks got out early, but the Saints have responded. Chemist Warehouse stats. Interesting stories everywhere right now, Casey Frank.
Well, the most interesting story in this one was, sorry, I pulled up the wrong stats of the Rapid League game. I was about to say, well, that's not the stats today, but it's the rebound count. The way that the offensive rebounds, 7 rebounds in total for the Sharks, 6 offensive rebounds for the Saints in the first quarter. They are pounding the glass. If not for 5 turnovers early in the quarter, would have really been in the Sharks' favor.
Yeah, they're winning that rebound count 18-7 after the opening 10 minutes. Sharks shooting at just 29%. They've had a lot of opportunities. Look at that for a response from Nick Marshall. Points on the board for the Saints to start the second.
Nick Marshall can score with a quickness. And he's really starting to develop in his role as the guy that I think this Saints team is trying to funnel the basket to offensively.
No Josiah Alec tonight for the Sharks if you've just joined us. A late out. Up and over for Ledger.
Just thought his way through that too quickly. Needed a bit of patience. Unfortunately, didn't show it.
This is dangerous times for the Sharks right now. You just feel like this one's about to open up. Mazinski, and there we go. Timeout straight away for the Sharks after those back-to-back baskets to start this second quarter. Saints are starting to lift in confidence.
Well, you don't see the same pep in their step they had to start the game. A lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. You can already see the weight of the lead already starting to sag on this Sharks team. I think an excellent call by Coach Ian there to say, hey, what are we doing here? We need an offensive play here. What can we do? How can we feel better in ourselves? Well, we could order a large Brooklyn pizza.
Look at that, $39.99. That's this week's Sal's Super Special. Available till next Tuesday. You know what to do. There's all the codes and the details. Get in and enjoy some Sal's. Thursday night hoops and some Sal's. Can't get much better than that. Yeah,
that's a good combo.
And Friday night.
And Saturday. Sunday.
Okay, Sunday as well. The large Brooklyn.
I like a slice for lunch too, you know, every now and then. I don't eat as much pizza as I did in my youth, Justin.
Oh, you would have been first thing in the morning, wouldn't you?
There was a lot. Well, there was like a 3-year stretch in college where I'd eat all my food, all my dinner, and then that night I would order 2 pizzas and a dozen wings. That would be like my 10:30, 11 o'clock order every night. I paid for a lot of TVs and pizza places.
Dear, oh dear. Dear, oh dear. 26-14. Saints all of a sudden out by 12. Let's see how the Sharks respond. As we get back underway, they respond with a little bit of full court pressure.
The Saints are not letting you off the hook. They smell blood in the water in the Shark Tank, and they are going in for the kill.
They want Asbury here, the Sharks. They get him. on the drive now. Mazinski covering. Pass inside to Ledger.
That is a lovely handle. Caleb Asbury puts that ball on a string, keeps that dribble alive, dekes out Nick Mazinski, has him on skates, going up, skirts around, and the beautiful pass. Trustin Ledger, who's had a couple of miscues on the catches earlier, but that one he catches, he finishes. Nice response out of the timeout.
Well, we've been talking hoops, we've been talking pizzas. Let's not forget your favorite team uniforms. Team merch, the official online shop, is now open with thanks to Sterling Sports. QR code on screen. Go and check it out and grab your favorite threads. Harris, I think it was intended for Mazinski to start off with, Hiram Harris, and in the end he's having a smile about it as well. In the end he just threw it up for himself.
Yeah, but it's just a testament to his thirst for the basketball. And he was certainly a lob. They've been trying to work this for a bit of time, but he chucks it up off the glass, gets the putback. Zoe Burton with the soft foul because he's just swiping at it. But Hiram Harris, I don't know, you can't measure will on any scale, but I guarantee he was being the 100th percentile.
Do you reckon Nick Mazinski just said to his teammate there, Hiram, hey, I just want to let you know you missed me by 3 foot. And I'm a big fella.
As a big, you should always, when that ball goes high, you should almost know to catch it off the glass.
So he adds 3, and the Saints extend, although answering with 3, Caleb Asbury.
It comes off. He's aggressive out of that timeout. I wonder if he got challenged a little bit about being the guy who gets this thing going, because he has put it on his shoulders coming out.
Well, we know he can light it up as well. Marshall with the miss. Another offensive rebound for the Saints. They are racking up. Turnover there off the hand of Liafa, though. And now maybe a chance. Back-to-back baskets for the home team.
Really surprised that one didn't go up in Asbury's hands.
Johnny Halou short from the top. Bruce inside. Mazinski the target. Up and under.
Wow, that's a great catch by Nick Mazinski. He started trying to seal that one early. Johnny Halou does a really good job of pushing him down, making it tough, but the length and the reach of Mazinski enables him to almost pin that ball against the glass, hold it up, and the strength to try and get the finish on the other side. 2 shots at the Chemist Warehouse.
Well, you can see Jonathan Yim is just shuffling madly at the moment, looking for answers. Riley Snow out there now getting some minutes. He had 10 rebounds in the earlier Sky Broadband Rapid League game tonight. By the way, the Saints won that 40-33. So he's just looking for competition on the boards.
He's just got to find somebody who's going to go throw his body around and give it a go. Expect we'll see Collier in this one as well, but Snow certainly earned a chance with his rebounding performance in the Rapid League.
Margin at 11. Ooh, handy. Well done by Halou. There is Snow having it snapped back at him by Mazinski. Asbury comes up with it. And we've got a whistle, I think.
The shot clock.
Yep, we're going to get that fixed up. Didn't mind the handles there from Johnny Halou up high.
Yeah, almost tricked himself into that little move.
Asbury, 14 points, just under 8 assists a game. Starting to bring his teammates into it. You mentioned earlier he had 13 dimes against the Panthers. Boone, a couple of big baskets early.
Nice job there defensively by Liafa. Gets caught out of position, picks up the Saints' second foul of the quarter. But plenty of fouls to work with.
Sal's NBL tomorrow night. 2 games coming your way here on Sky Sport. Also ESPN throughout the United States and FIBA YouTube right around the world. Tuatara at home to the Panthers. Rams up against the Jets. Clumsy there for the Sharks. Harris will make them pay, will he?
Thought he would have had that layup, but predetermined he's dropping that off.
Maybe Isaiah Liafa will do the damage.
Always trade 2 for 3. if you know what's going to happen. Harris reads that lane beautifully, and Isaiah Liafa gets his eye in for the first time today.
Game high, 14 points the margin. Burton on the drive. Shot was tough. And another rebound for Mazinski. He's going to dominate the glass tonight. Shea Illy's back out there. Mazinski left it behind, swooping. Hilu, he's got runners everywhere. He was looking for Mazinski. Isaiah Liapa said, no, that ain't happening.
Well, not the best lob pass, but also well read, as we say. Shea Ili, 3 for 3 from the field now, drops that one off. But everybody in the gym knew that lob was coming. Unfortunately for the Sharks fans, so did the Saints.
Ili looking good out there, isn't he? Asbury calls up Snow, fires over Mazinski. That one doesn't go down. Sharks just losing a little bit of structure right now.
The Snow entrant gets an offensive rebound. Nice sub there.
Asbury to Hilu on the drive, up over Mazinski.
Mazinski's length makes those little in-between shots so difficult to make. You've got the guards pressuring, getting the lanes, forcing you to drive at speed. And, oh, I've got a little free space, and then here comes this 7-foot wingspan behemoth. Just suddenly you can't see the rim. A little jump shot has to become a little runner from a little further out. And just like that, you're shooting a much worse percentage than you were previously.
Sharks do have their own footer on the way, of course. Sam Timmins, who I think is another few weeks away, Case.
Sam Timmins waiting for that Japanese league to start, or sorry, finish. Not sure where they're at in the playoff picture, because I've got enough basketball to worry about here. But I'm sure the Sharks fans are hoping not too far.
Ili to Harris. Look at that pass. Marshall back to Ili, just floating through midair, off the glass for another 2. There was a lot of Will Davo Hickey in that basket, and we saw plenty of Hickey baskets last week on the Southern Swing.
Shea's been doing that in the Saints jersey for a long time, goes back over 10 years. Making those plays with the runner. 4 for 4 from the field now. The Sharks, despite that foul by Marshall there, struggling to put the ball in the basket. They are 7 for 26 from the field. 2 for 9 from inside the arc, and 5 for 17 from deep.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Just 1 free throw attempted. Shows you how little action they're getting going towards the basket.
That rebound count now, by the way, Chemist Warehouse stats, 25-9. We spoke about that during the pre-game. No Josiah Alec for the Sharks. And it's going to be a tough night at the office when it comes to matching the Saints for size. That's a tough shot for Boone.
Well, that's the shot that you see a little guard, you think, oh, I can do this. Oh, beautiful little extra pass. Shea Ili with a no look on the reflection. On one end, Shea Ili plays fantastic defense, giving up about, I'd say, 7 inches to Boone. Forces him to the fadeaway, makes it tough. And then here, the first pass, Shea Ili looking back the whole time, never letting it. And then Isaiah Liapa with the reverse. The Saints are locked in now. Their talent has risen. They've got the work rate going. And the Sharks and Coach Jonathan Yim are looking for some answers.
I want to ask you a tough question, Casey, and certainly give us a reason why as well, because there will be one. But
can't wait.
You're in the schoolyard. You've got
punch him first.
You've got Isaiah Liapa, Nick Marshall, Hiram Harris, Shea Ili, Nick Mazinski, and Sean Bruce. Those 6 players looking back at you. Who do you pick first and why?
Who do I pick first?
Yep. So the starting 5 for the Saints plus Shea Ili. So those 6 players. You're in the schoolyard. You've got first pick. You're the captain. Who do you go with first and why?
I'm going to go with the bigs because we're going to be the biggest boys on the block. I don't care about all those little guards now.
Yes, I got Shea Ili with my first pick. You beauty.
me and Moose are going to handle things down low.
We're going to run everywhere.
Am I coaching or am I playing? What's going on here?
Playing. That's okay. Official stats partner of the Cells NBL, Chemist Warehouse. The Sharks have had to burn a couple of timeouts in this second quarter. What would the message have been from Jonathan Yim?
Well, it's taking care of the basketball. And it's the shots that when you're shooting that shot, it has to be a good shot. It can't be air balls. It can't be poor shots. We have to look for a higher level of quality because bad shots lead to quick, fast break opportunities. And we cannot beat this team back in transition. They're too good at it. And there you see, first thing you do, don't take care of the basketball, leads to another little easy layup that Bruce lets go short.
And another offensive rebound.
And not another, thankfully, that time. As the Saints pick up their 4th foul in the period, so something going into the favor of the Sharks here. As Boone works his way back to the baseline to inbound the ball.
Still a long way to go in this second quarter. Sharks in a bit of strife right now. Came out with all guns blazing, didn't they? Tukaha Cooper had a really good opening quarter. Oh, surely contact there.
Oh, my.
That's a massive miss by the Barter card officials.
That's unfortunate. So I guess they're saying incidental. We'll take a look at a replay possibly.
Dougal Meter with the miss. Surely there was contact there.
All's well that ends well. No effect on the champs.
Here's Cooper. Boone around Illy, and a really good finish. That was tidy.
Well, that tells me that last time out was Coach Yim challenging Boone to take better shots. You've been settling for jump shots. You've been fading away. That time to the cup. Maybe Isaiah Liafa wants to make that layup.
He's got 8 in the game. And Illy with the misplaced pass, he knew
Straight to the bench.
He knew exactly where he wanted that to go.
And you take a look at the Boone drive. Takes off from outside the key, attacking Hiram Harris. Without Muzinski in there, no real rim protection, so those driving lanes do open.
I had the chance to sit courtside and watch Keelan Boone last week, Case, just as a spectator, and he's got some tricks in his bag. He's one player that can certainly get going for this Sharks team.
Just aggressive defense there by Hiram Harris, pressuring Tukaha Cooper into the turnover.
Dougal Meter. Liafa, step back, hello. Loves that situation, Isaiah Liafa.
Froze Will Ledger. Hopped back out of that one and then lined it up, took his time. 21 points to lead as the Saints are in control.
Liafa up to 8 now. Foul committed by Dougal Meter. That's just breakfast time for Isaiah Liafa. He eats that up, doesn't he? Those threes. And his shooting stroke hasn't been on so far this season, but you just know with every look and every opportunity, especially like the last one, just starts to come back, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think his confidence in the jump shot may have taken a little bit of hit with the Sydney action. You know, so often the offense was depending on him in that activity, and then towards the end of the year, the coaching staff sort of goes away from him. So he's trying to find his groove again here with the Saints back at hometown. But that shot, when it's on, it is on. And if he gets it going, he's the type of player who can get 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 threes to drop in a single game.
You want to have a guess at who the highest scorer on the court is right now in this game?
Highest scorer on the court in this game right now.
One player in double digits.
One player in double digits. Is it, I don't know. Let's go with Keelan Boone.
I'm going to go with Tukaha Cooper. 10 points in the game for the young man.
He had that great start, didn't he? He had those 5 points that tipped things off.
Stepping on the line there, Nick Muzinski.
His catch radius is pretty big, because a lot of these little lobs to him, I'm watching go and I'm saying, well, that's not happening. He just finds a way to get his hands on it. Unfortunately for the Saints fans, that time steps on the line. Fortunate for the Sharks, though, a chance to keep digging this one in.
It's one of those common nicknames as well, isn't it, for big blokes who play sport? Moose.
The Moose.
Nick Muzinski, of course, we're talking about. That's come off the hand of Shea Lee.
Yeah, there are a lot of big dudes who don't have the last name Muzinski that still get the Moose moniker.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's a natural when your name's Muzinski.
42 plays 23. Couple of minutes to play in this opening half. Zoe Burton's been well shut down. That pass wasn't too great. Picked off by Harris. Illy's just searching, isn't he? Look at the pass. Right on the point for Dougal Meter.
Well, he slows his dribble down to let those runners catch up, and then he's got options on the block and on the wing and in the corner. And the defense fades away from the corner, so Dougal Meter gets to get the bucket.
Second three of the game for Dougal Meter. Had
what a pass there.
Look at that. And just unable to finish.
Dougal Meter.
He'll be unhappy with that. He will not be pleased with that finish.
Did all the work, just caught in between going at the rim itself or the backboard, and didn't quite get his steps because of the angle of the pass. Beautiful vision by Shea Illy. I mean, you really have to understand how the court's going to open up after you deliver that. And just missing out on a beautiful highlight.
Next 3 games for the Saints. They're on the Southern swing, of course, this week. Sharks tonight, Nuggets on Saturday. They then return home to take on the Giants and the Hawks. So a couple of big home games coming up.
Gotta say, I don't really consider the Southern swing if it's in March or April. The Southern swing, they hit in June and July.
The weather's got to go with it. Okay, that's fair enough.
Unless the Southerlies are coming. The Southern swing doesn't have quite the same effect as it does later in the season.
So this time of the year, it's a pleasant road trip down to Bluff, is it?
You're excited to get down there. Daylight savings just happened. It's still bright at night.
Illy Mazinski, that was just too easy in the end.
Well, he's just got so much size. There's nothing that the Sharks can do against him if he gets that low catch. And he can finish on the strong side, weak side, either way. That time it goes with the reverse. 9
points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks for Nick Mazinski. That's how good his night's going at the moment. Right there defensively again, Johnny Halou.
Gives him a little Steve Nash. You're going to guard me with Mazinski. I'm going to keep dribbling until I find an angle, and he somehow gets it across. Shea Lily, ambitious with the pass.
Asbury, Boone, catch and shoot. Can't finish. Illy up with the rebound, wants to get going quickly. Has Mazinski inside. Asbury with the foul in the end has probably ended up being a good foul because Mazinski knew exactly where that one was going to go.
Yeah, that was definitely going to be a finish, much like this Johnny Halou bucket was always going to go in. Dribbles around the key a couple of times, finds the angle he wants, gets the bucket, and then the foul by Asbury in transition gives the Saints side ball. Still a foul to give for the Sharks, though.
Next 3 for the Sharks. By the way, they've got a couple on the road coming up. The Fi and the Bulls away before they return home to play the Giants. Doesn't get any easier. Speaking of easy, Sean Bruce makes it look exactly like that.
Simple game. Pass, catch, shoot, fire away.
50-piece right now for the Saints. Boone answers with a triple.
Yeah, a little lazy on that defensive possession, lack of communication. Boone is just too good of a shooter to have that much time, but it'll give the Saints the last possession of the half.
His third 3 of the game. Boone.
He has found his form in the last couple of games, continuing that tonight.
BNZ player timeout alive for both teams. A bump there
Good
from
foul.
Halou.
Smart foul, 4.5 seconds left. Gives the Saints just 4.5 seconds to run their offense now.
Actually, he's been awarded 2 shots.
Oh, is that shooting?
Yeah, been awarded 2 shots. So he's off to the Chemist Warehouse. While he does that, it gives us a chance to get an early look at the BNZ ticket to the big game. QR code on screen right now. Fill in your details for your chance to win tickets to the NZNBL this season with thanks to BNZ, inspiring the next generation of basketballers, and there's plenty out there, Case.
There certainly is. We'll be able to talk to him in a second after the Sharks call this player timeout on the rebound once it goes through.
We might just keep that QR code on screen for you because I reckon there is going to be a BNZ player timeout right about now.
Nice shot at the Chemist Warehouse for Shea Illy.
There you go. You can have this one.
I think the BNZ, they're sponsoring the tickets to the big game this year. To see if your group can't qualify, scan that QR code to win a chance to win tickets. As we take a look at the Sharks walking down court with their last opportunity.
What do you think Aaron Young's going to say at halftime here? I mean, we've talked about the Sharks and we know what they're up against tonight, but what do the Sharks, what do the Saints talk about at halftime? Out by 22.
10 turnovers. A few too many there as we see Shea Illy give it one last go. Doesn't get it. But first thing you talk about is too many turnovers. Keep up the effort on the offensive glass. And let's see if we can't create a higher quality of shot from deep right now with just 6 for 19.
So halftime here. Thursday night hoops in the Salons at NBL. Being dominated by the Saints right now as they search for their 5th win of the season. They're out by 22. And we've got the Chemist Warehouse stats coming up right after the break. Welcome back to the Deep South tonight. NZNBL action, and there is a mountain to climb if you are a Sharks fan. Justin Nelson with you, Casey Frank sitting right alongside me, having a bit of fun tonight. Well, if you're a Saints fan, you're having a bit of fun. Not so much if you're on the side of the Sharks. Saints lead by 22. Chemist Warehouse stats, Case.
Take a look at Keelan Boone and Shea Illy on top of things. Welcome back, Shea Illy. 11 points each for them. Cooper and Muzinski in strong support for those two. The glass is a one-way action. It is a 31-12 rebound advantage. All obviously towards the Saints. Nick Muzinski with 9, nearly with the double-double at halftime. Keelan Boone also doing a nice job on the glass with 7 himself. Multiple Saints with 5. On to the assist. Shea Illy leading the way. Caleb Asbury mentioned his 13 assists a game ago. Well, he is slicing and dicing the D for assists as well. Sean Bruce and Leafa with 3 apiece. 2 blocks for Big Moose.
Who do you think's leading the steals? Oh, there you go.
Hiram Harris is always a good guess. He's got 4 on his way to a big one defensively. And take a look at the stats overall. The Saints shooting 48% from the field, just 30% from 3, but that is a bit better than the 30% overall for the Sharks from the field. Just 4 for 14 from inside the arc. I mentioned the rebounds, 31-12, but on the offensive rebound side, there are 2 for the Southland Sharks and 9 for the Wellington Saints.
Saints on the double this week. Of course, they got the Nuggets ahead of them on Saturday afternoon. Get out and have a look at that game. The Nuggets with their full contingent of imports now. It'll be a good one in Dunedin. So the Saints lead this one by 22 at the half. A lot of work ahead for the Sharks. Second half coming up very, very soon. No, my hockey mile. Welcome back to ILT Stadium, Southland. Looks like the Sal's pizza is getting handed out at halftime. Hopefully that brings some joy to Sharks fans. It's been a tough night at the office so far. Saints out by 22. Justin Nelson, Casey Frank with you. And let's go to the Sharks camp first. What are they looking for here early in the third quarter?
Effort, intensity, good decision making. Coach Jonathan knows that his team is a little bit undermanned. But what you want to see is that fight, that effort. You don't want it to drop. Yes, you're down 20, but stranger things have happened. So if you can keep that intensity up and create just a higher level of shot selection while taking care of the ball, you might be able to work your way back into this game one step at a time.
Busy week as always in the Sal's NBL. We've got through Mad March. We're into amped April. Let's have a look at what is coming up over the next few days. Busy times as always. There's a lot on the schedule up and down the country in the competition. We know that the Bulls got up over the Rams last night by 9. Sharks and the Saints tonight. Tuatara and the Panthers tomorrow. The Panthers, I believe, will be debuting their new big Chinese center, 7-footer.
There he is,
Shengzhu Li, yeah.
It's going to be quite the matchup between himself and Rob Lowe, a battle of the bigs. And possibly a couple other Panthers might be up, or we're just waiting for clearances. But following that, Rams, Jets, that's going to be a barnstormer. The best offense in the competition, the Jets, coming against the Rams. The Saints, there's that second half of the Southern swing against the Nuggets team that has been playing very, very well. Don Carey Jr. and Jose Perez have really brought the thunder for that squad, sitting probably a little bit higher than I would have expected.
Have you thought about a career after commentary, Case?
You think I could be a Shark? I'll tell you what.
What is going on there?
That is going to be a bit sweaty inside that thing for me.
Come on. Oh, and they meet in the middle. What's going on?
Those look like short sharks. Those look like kids. They've convinced some kids to walk around in the shark outfits, and they are having a time.
Hey, we just saw the games coming up. I want to have a chat about the Giants and the Fi on Saturday night at Trafalgar Centre. It'll be another full house. They love a sellout down in Nelson. Giants looking for their first win of the season. Casey, they're 0-5. Things get a lot tougher if they go down in that one against the Fi. Have a look at that.
That looks solid right there.
Just totally lost my train of thought then. The Giants and the Fi, what are your thoughts there?
It's a game that I think the Giants have to circle and say, look, well, let's try and take a stand here. Yes, the Fi have gotten off to an excellent start, and they're playing very well, but they're not infallible, and I think the personnel that the Giants have, with or without an import, if one gets done with them, should be enough to give them a chance in that one, especially when you consider the desperation with which they need to start playing.
So second half about to start here as we say goodbye to the large Brooklyn. Hopefully you can get out and enjoy that ahead of next Tuesday with thanks to Sal's. Got a feeling the Saints are going to put the foot down here. They show no mercy at the best of times, but when they come up against the Sharks, that thing gets cranked up a cog or two.
Yeah, 22-point lead, but I'll just reiterate, just in case, Saints have been struggling to keep the leads. Blew a 27-point lead against the Bulls. They came back, cut it to 4. We're up 15 against the Jets. They came back and nearly won that one.
Hello.
But the Saints might have different ideas this time around as Bruce just drains the triple to start things off.
How's the timing on that shot?
Oh, sorry, that was Marshall.
Nick Marshall, yep. So out to 25 off that opening shot. Burton hasn't scored yet tonight. Here's Boone. He's been their best. Does he lean back and add another 3? You bet he does.
He's got such great length. The Saints are matching up with guards on him to take away his quickness. He's just got that size to be able to shoot over the outstretched hand.
14 for Kalen Boone, 4 triples as well. There's Harris. Big and strong inside. Look at that. Another basket for Mazinski. That's a double-double for him.
There it is. Up to 12 points now and 10 rebounds.
Asbury. Boone gives it up to Burton in the corner. Loves that spot. Zoe Burton, he's on the score sheet.
Yeah, first shot of the day was 0 for 5 before that one. And now is 1 for 5 from deep.
Back-to-back threes for the Sharks. Saints settle. No one goes near Hiram Harris. He hit 3 triples against the Jets, so you do need to be careful. And I reckon Isaiah Liapa just did enough there to distract Tukaha Cooper.
Yeah, I don't think he hit the basketball, but I think he made it difficult to see. He might have blocked that eye line just a bit. And made it a tough catch, forced another turnover. Nice job by Liapa there, getting back in transition. He was the last man standing and got it done.
10 turnovers for both teams each tonight. Saints to hold possession here.
He was real sloppy early, but then started to clean up a little bit. The Sharks the other way around took care of it early, but then have been getting more affected by the pressure.
Liapa on that catch and go.
In between two minds on that shot. He wasn't sure if he's shooting a jumper or a runner.
Asbury has Mazinski in front of him.
Yeah, didn't want that screen. Caleb Asbury was not happy about that cut by Boone.
Sal's NBL highlight show coming your way every Tuesday night. Tukaha Cooper might feature. He had a big start tonight, double-digit scoring, missed that one. Liapa. Hiram Harris and Marshall teaming up. Marshall on the drive, up and off the glass. Mazinski, another rebound for the big man.
Did not get the whistle. Thought he was deserving of one, but the Sharks are down 21, so they get the benefit of the doubt.
Rebound 11 for Nick Mazinski.
Well, that might have been a travel by Asbury. Impressive body control. Again.
Gets contact out of that in the end. He's off to the Chemist Warehouse. Nick Mazinski, by the way, 6 offensive rebounds.
Well, he's just got such a size advantage on this front line of the Sharks. Boone's got a bit of height, but he just doesn't have the bone marrow that Mazinski does. I mean, that man is wide, so he's got to walk through most doors sideways.
Been a lot of talk, Casey, about the Rams. For good reason. They did go down last night to the Bulls. That was a thrilling game. The Bulls charging home with a 40-point last quarter. But what about the balance of this Saints team? I mean, they're well up here. They've had a fairly good season so far, coming in 4-2. Shea Illy comes into the lineup tonight. Just the balance of the Wellington Saints.
Well, and the team they are today isn't going to be the team they end up being. Let's realize that. Once Bruce is off this team, they're going to be down to 2 imports. They've got another way to go, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them get a little bit bigger. There, you know, I did pick the Rams to have the best regular season record, but in my preseason picks, I went with the Saints for a title because when this team comes together, I think they're going to be able to beat teams in a lot of different ways. Still has to develop, but I think it's certainly on that road.
Keep an eye on the Saints through the trade window in about a month's time as well. Bruce adds a 3.
Cool, calm, and collected. Nice find by Illy. Really patient offensively, not rushing anything. As the Sharks rush and unfortunately missed that layup, but
Bruce round the back. Nice dime to Harris.
That's on the highlight show this week. Beautiful. Sean Bruce, what a couple of possessions there. The 3 in the corner after the up fake, and then sets up the beautiful behind the back pass.
Just keeps on keeping on, doesn't he? Boone on the step back deep too. That's a sweet stroke.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of shots up, and he should continue to do so. He is carrying the load offensively.
Illy dumps it off for Isaiah Liapa.
Oh, that's the kind of dangerous shot that the rest of the league doesn't want to see from Liapa. The catch and shoot, just stop, pop, bang, hits home the triple.
2 Tall Blacks working together. Delight to see. Hilou for 3.
Hey, hits his first of the night. 0 for 3 from deep up to that point. Drops that one to hit 5 points on the evening.
65-42 midway through the third.
And we're just letting everybody shoot now.
It's certainly opened up, hasn't it? Asbury searching at the moment. Hilou, back-to-back 3.
Hit it again.
No,
that would have been good fun. That would have been good fun. Same spot, same result. Unfortunately, just a little different for him.
Bruce backs it out. Look at this. Nice width on the floor here by the Saints. Bruce on the charge. The intended target was Mazinski. He thought it came off the hand of Boone last. Referee Sam Pan doesn't agree.
Yeah, when you're up 23, you tend not to get the 50-50s. If I could give it back to the orange team, I'm going to go ahead and go that way.
Talking of the Tall Blacks duo of Isaiah Liafa and Shea Ili, they will be right in the frame for the Tall Blacks when they take on the Boomers, of course.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic tour. 2 games in Australia, 1 game in Hamilton at the Globe Box. Tickets on sale now.
May 7 and May 9, those games in Australia. Tukaha Cooper adds 3. Not only the men, but also the women. The 2 Degrees Tall Ferns are up against the Australian Opals. As I said, May 7 and May 9 in Australia before they head to Hamilton on May the 11th for some big basketball, some big international basketball. It's been a while since New Zealand's played Australia as well.
Been a fair few years since we've been able to host one, especially. Fantastic to see the Trans-Tasman Throwdown come back to life and become a staple, I think, of the sporting calendar in the years to come.
Timeout called here. Midway through the third, Saints in complete control of this one tonight.
We're going to have to go hunting for some stats today, I think, Justin. The rebounds, the points, they're not really doing it for me right now. So I'm going to call out Nick Muzinski. 11 points on 5 for 7 from the field, 11 rebounds, 6 of those offensive, 2 blocks as well in 22 minutes. That's showing a nice little bit of efficiency.
For a tough night for the team in orange, let's show some love to Keelan Boone as well. He's got a double-double, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals and a couple of assists as well. He's hit 4 triples.
Yeah, already with 10 rebounds. Nice job by him. Has not yet come out of the game as well. Trying to do his part in the absence of Josiah Alec.
Speaking of the Tall Blacks and Tall Ferns up against the Aussie Boomers and Opals in May. Thinking back through your 100-game plus career with the Tall Blacks, any memorable games in there against the Aussies? Be kind.
No, quite a few. You know, I was fortunate to be on quite a few teams that were able to compete and defeat the Australians. You know, I remember how Kirk Penny missed a lot of those, and one of the first times he got a win, how happy he was because it happened so rarely when he was coming up. But I think one in particular is one of my first against the Aussies in Hawke's Bay against Andrew Bogut's debut team on the Boomers. We were able to get them at the end of that game. I had a little bit to do with that. Good fun. Bad memories of Commonwealth Games when they took a gold medal from me. Yeah.
Chance here for Keelan Boone. Tukaha Cooper just sneaking up nicely as well. He's got 15 in the game now. Oh, Ili to Liafa, just left it short. Good defense in the end by Collier. Speaking of defense, Shea Ili, the man of the moment. Isaiah Liafa finishes off the good defensive work.
Look, you want to talk about sharks in the water. Let's not dribble. Let's not try and split a Shea Ili, Isaiah Liafa double team.
Not going to end well, is it?
Does not bode well for your ball handling future. Good defense there underneath. Marie Dugomita.
Marshall just sizing up his options. Saints, steady as you go. Been their night so far. Ili just changed it up. Down it goes Muzinski. And Shea Ili has his fingerprints all over this one tonight.
Such great control. Shea Ili, 13 points, 5 for 7 from the field. 7 assists now. Just under control. He's going to head back to the bench. You know, I think he's looking at about maybe 20 minutes max tonight to get hit first thing. But look, just take my time. You know, they teach a lot of players not to jump when they pass. It's okay when you're Shea Ili.
Shea Ili knows exactly how many minutes he's playing tonight, Casey, because he has subbed himself out of the game.
All right, go on. Right. There's the whistle. Here we go.
Seen that 3 times so far tonight. He knows exactly when his time is up.
But you like to have that kind of plan as well. As Coach Yim's trying to figure things out. Let's just go. 26 down. I don't have my starting 5. And these guys are good.
Collier on Harris. Up off the glass. Draws contact.
Well, fortunate there. He didn't get called for a travel. He was playing a little bit of shuffleboard, but is able to get the spin move for the finish. And question now is going to be, I think, for Aaron Young with 24 points. How long am I going to keep my starters in there? I'm going to let these guys sort of take a little bit of time out of it.
Well, they're on the double, aren't they? They got the Nuggets in 48 hours, and they do have some real talent in that roster. They had another win tonight in the Sky Broadband Rapid League, got home 40-33. But you think about Arthur Pilcher, Caslow Evans Jr., Luca Richards, Tyrell Cage, Hecky. They can all get amongst it, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They're chomping at the bit to get out there.
Liafa leaning back on a three. There's a foul underneath. Collier has dished one out to Hiram Harris.
You expect that activity to come when you're Hiram Harris coming through. You might have set him up there with a little bit of hit you first and then drop down second.
I don't think I'm seeing things tonight. Coach Jonathan Yim, we might get a shot of it a little bit later on. Just want to talk about his fashion, which is impeccable, by the way. Absolutely impeccable.
How did he get around that?
Marshall just threw a gap. Just remind me to come back to the Jonathan Yim fashion comment.
You're going to have something to say about all the Argyle?
Well, I am, yeah, you're right. Marshall, Liafa through traffic. Little touch down the arm there of Hiram Harris. May have actually copped an inadvertent finger in the eye, maybe a whack on the head. Yes, Hiram just rubs that one out.
That's going to leave an egg.
He's off to the Chemist Warehouse.
You see the shooting. He's certainly going in the favor of the Saints. Team merch options, talking about clothing. Make sure you can scoop these uniforms and any other ones. Shop online now. Use that QR code or go to Sterling Sports on the interwebs.
Official merch partner, of course, of the NZNBL. Now, I just want to get back to Jonathan Yim. This is what I was talking about before. That jumper design there, I reckon I've seen him in 4 different colours of exactly the same design this season.
It's because he's got to coordinate, Justin. You got to coordinate.
But he's got a wardrobe of the exact same jumper.
That's what he's doing. Well,
different colours.
I like the orange ones because the orange ones definitely pull out the Southland Sharks, but I think he's trying to change up the look.
He's a fashionista. There's no doubt about that. Collier misses underneath. Inside the last 2 minutes of this third quarter. Harris, strong. Picked up by Boone on the charge. Oh, Burton. Through hands. This is better from the Sharks. Cooper. Oh, I just can't control it in the end. Got the start tonight, Tukaha Cooper. Josiah Alec, a late withdrawal for the Sharks with a knee problem. Cooper, 15 points on the Chemist Warehouse stats. There is Jonathan Yim. Got the tie on tonight as well. I like it.
It's
upping
well
the standards.
Together.
Yeah.
The blue matching the Argyle pattern as well as the slacks. And this has been Fashion Corner with Casey and Justin.
A mark out of 10. It's up there.
Well, I mean, most of the league is going with the New Balance Polo.
Look at this, just raffling at the moment, the Saints.
Right, and Harris and Mazinski starting to form that interior passing connection. So key to playing with Hiram Harris, making yourself available, and Mazinski's always there for him. 8
points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals for Harris. Asprey leaning back. Rare offensive rebound for the Sharks. Asprey goes again. I think maybe the pass was intended for Zoe Burton on the cut.
I think he was supposed to be going back door. If Bruce does not kick that, though, that will be heading back to the Saints.
14 on the shot clock. Burton. Collier. Asprey got Mazinski off the floor. Sends it into the corner. Cooper unable to put it away. And the Sharks will turn it over. 39 to play in this third quarter. Quarter at the moment, 26-20 in favour of the Saints. They had a 30-16 second quarter to blow this one open. Look at Marshall in the corner by himself. Asprey to Boone teaming up. Harris just reaching in. He wanted things to stop in a hurry.
Well, Zoe Burton in the corner there saying, "This is my shot." Just kick that one on. And Boone goes with a little jab step instead, and you see him give an unnecessary apology. It says, "Oh, my bad. Get you next time."
Been talking about some player signings, in particular Kiwi player signings to the Aussie NBL for next season. Hiram Harris. Where is he likely to end up, Case, in your thoughts?
That's a great question. He was an influential piece for the Perth Wildcats the last couple of years. I think, he's certainly the type of guy that is a do-it-all type on a bunch of different teams, but you have to find that balance. You have to have a team that has enough size that he can set up with, or that you trust him to play the three. Yeah, I think, he was a highly sought-after recruit a couple of years ago, as we see this quarter, but there's quite a few teams. That's my way of dancing around and saying, I don't know.
I was going to say, is there an answer in there somewhere? Three-quarter time here tonight at the Shark Tank. The Saints continue to dominate this one, out by 26. No, my hockey mate, welcome back to the Shark Tank tonight. Sal's NBL Thursday evening action here in New Zealand. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you may be watching right around the world. Hello to everyone through the United States on ESPN, FIBA, YouTube, throughout the world, and of course right here in New Zealand, your home of basketball, Sky Sports. Saints lead it by 26. Chemist Warehouse stats. Casey Frank rejoins me. What are you seeing?
43-23 rebound count in favor of the Saints. Shea Hilly, nice little comeback game. 13 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals in 13 minutes.
Turnover there. Asbury, the one-hander. Down it goes.
Gets the easiest bucket he'll see all night. Has not had a ton of activity though, Caleb Asbury. That's just his second made bucket, 6 points for him.
Harris to Mazinski. Oh, slapped away by Collier. That was nice. Read that well. Marshall. Look at the ball movement for the Saints. Shea Illy short on the shot. Game MVP. We're going to bring up the QR code on screen in just a moment for you. All of our viewers out there would love to hear your thoughts on who you think the MVP is tonight. You would think favouring the Saints. There you go. Shea Illy on his return to the Sal's NBL. Oh, sorry, we'll bring that back up for you in a moment so you can have your say. But Illy is leading the way as Boone adds another 2.
Nice drive. Boone putting together another solid performance. 18 points, 12 rebounds now.
Leading the way for the Sharks. Illy for 3. Short again.
Lovely save there.
I thought I heard a whistle. Yeah, I have in the end. So Not sure what the call is there. Looks like a foul is being called. In fact, timeout. So we'll get a quick break here early in the fourth. There is the game MVP. QR code on screen. Scan away. It's fun and free with thanks to mixandpick.com. Shea Ili, 58% of the vote.
And deservedly so. Keelan Boone with the 21 piece. Sione Hilo, also known as Johnny. And Tukaha Cooper. It looks like their family members are taking part.
I'd be happy for Nick Mazinski maybe to
you could creep
get
up a little
bit more love.
Creep up a little bit would be nice for him. He's sitting there at a solid 5%.
Tukaha Cooper always has plenty of fans out there. But Shea Ili dominating right now. Go and have your say. Love to hear from you and who you think is tonight's MVP. I think the fans have got it just about right, Case.
Yeah, I like the top of the table. I mean, that middle part. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Nick Mazinski's just jumped up. Yep.
You talking, you shall receive, Justin. Ask for better stuff. Just ask for better stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Do you think this is our opportunity?
You never know.
What's your wish list?
You
What
never know.
What do you
Let's
want
find
for
out.
Christmas this year? When's your birthday? Long way to go in this one. And the Sharks will just be hoping to build some confidence here. They've got a tough road ahead. Find the Bulls on the road coming up next for the Sharks before they head back to the Shark Tank against the Giants. And they've got to start building some wins. We know they've got Sam Timmins coming. Collier, Long. Another rebound for the Saints.
A lot of possessions that end up with a one-on-one attack. Like to see some screens open up some shot-making opportunities for the Sharks on a catch and shoot coming off a double, something like that.
Ili with the fancy look away to the corner, and another three for the Saints. Sean Bruce.
Right. Shea Ili's going to be chasing a double-double with assists. He keeps this up.
Burton. That's come off a Saints handle, though. Shea Ili pleading his innocence.
No replay over here, Shea. So can't go to the bench and ask for a replay. That is Australia only. We trust our officials here in New Zealand.
Absolutely. Asbury looking to get it back here from Collier. Boone's been excellent tonight. Slips it into Collier. Great work, Sharks.
Nice offense. Better set that time. I like get the ball through hands, come off that on ball, force some communication miscues, and to get that little slice and dice on the interior.
Collier 5 points in this one. Long three off the hand of Marshall. Ili, all the time in the world. I think there's a push underneath here.
And he's been asking for that whistle all night, and now he's got one. Take another look at the Collier roll, screen, roll. Nice little drop off by Boone.
Collier getting some extra burn tonight, of course, with no Josiah Alec out there. We know that he was a late withdrawal, Casey. What we haven't heard with that knee injury is whether it's just a bit of a knock or whether it's something a little bit more serious. So keep an eye on those updates and stories over the next few days coming out of Southland. They certainly cannot afford to lose him for an extended period of time. A lot of contact there on Nick Marshall. Liafa does really well.
Threw it at the ball kid, spotted the white shirt. Said, I'll get it down there.
They got a possession, didn't they, the youngsters?
Well, you wonder if all the travel for Josiah Alec might have had something to do with it. Played at home, first game in the last round, then had to fly up to Auckland, played the Panthers up there, and then flying back for a game a few days later. But because I don't remember him leaving the game with an injury against the Panthers.
Against the Panthers, yeah, you're right. Here's Boone. A bright spot tonight for the Sharks on the attack. Cooper, he's played well as well. Boone battling for it underneath. Saints come up with it. Look at Ili just searching everywhere through hands. Liafa to Bruce to Harris.
Well, lovely passing, really nice unselfish play. Unfortunately, can't get the finish.
Cooper has Marshall in front of him. Burton trying to clear some space.
Well, he likes to fade away here.
Stepping back and over the top. He's got actually one of the best turnaround jumpers in the competition right now, Keelan Boone.
Well, he's got that size. You know, he's got such great length that you really have to be about Muzinski's height to challenge it if you're standing on the floor. And otherwise, you're really going to have to extend yourself, and that's how you get in foul trouble. Harris is conservative with his defense, but gives him a clean look at the basket.
20 points for Boone tonight. Bruce nowhere to go. Marshall, well picked off by Cooper. Sharks come up with it.
Best defensive possession of the night for the Sharks.
Asbury, can he finish? He sends it to Burton. Into the safe hands of Keelan Boone. There was contact there, maybe straight on the ball. So Harris for the block, and a block back the other way. Asbury.
Well, I thought they were going to count that. That was off the glass, pretty obviously.
Hiram Harris knows it as well. Sean Bruce says, hey, don't worry, just give me the ball. He adds 3. We're back out to 24.
Harris wants a sub.
Yeah, he commits the foul. He said, hey, you missed that at one end. I've had enough.
He sees the big guy, Muzinski's about to check back in. He says, after that missed goaltending call, I am done. And I think that might be all she wrote for Hiram Harris. As he shoots off to the bench after a solid night. 8 points. 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals.
Yeah, it's just typical all-round stuff, isn't it, from Hiram. Marshall leaning into him. Tukaha Cooper all the way down the floor is called for the foul.
Well, he's gotten on his hip early, and Marshall's able to keep him there entirety of the time. Here we go. Tukaha Cooper's fan coming back up strong.
There you go. I told you had some fans out there, Tukaha Cooper.
It is consolidating. Shea Ili's votes have come way down, though. Swapping them around.
Tukaha Cooper, he's been with the Jets. He's been with the Tuatara. He's a Northlander, of course. He's got plenty of fans up there back in his home digs throughout Northland. I reckon he'll actually go a bit higher than 17%. There you go. There you go.
Did you just vote for him, Justin?
He's just jumped up.
that seems curious to say the least that you timed that well.
The Saints are up by 25, but I think if the Tukaha Cooper fans come late, he might actually get up and challenge Shea Ili a little bit more yet. So
on the cusp.
Keep an eye on that. We'll bring it back up for you soon. Just under 5 to play tonight. It's been a Saints night, hasn't it? Muzinski.
Just too big. Takes his time. Goes with a little scoop shot instead of a hook because of the size advantage he has on Boone.
Asbury, rough pass out to Halou. Keeps it alive, gets it back. The old sideline.
He works so hard to keep it from going out of bounds. He works so hard to keep it from going out of bounds. And then steps on the sideline. Unfortunately, there's Tukaha Cooper up 20%.
He's within 13% of Shea Ili.
Your maths are fantastic.
Just keep an eye on it. I'm telling you right now.
Down to 10.
Cooper fans are coming late.
You're not telling me, you're asking for it. You are creating this reality, Justin.
That won't count, by the way. Off the hand of Sean Bruce. Just watch what happens. Just watch what happens. I reckon Cooper's going to end up at 30% in the near future.
We just need a few votes to swap from Shilly to Tukaha Cooper.
They are coming
and he'll
late.
be up there.
Rightio, back to the action.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, he's creeping up. You keep an eye on that. Here's Muzinski. Nicely picked off by Asbury. Saw it coming. A little bit of a skip down the court. Steps back for 3. Caleb Asbury.
And big shots late. Still has a little skip in his step.
How's he been tonight? 9 points for Asbury. Been a tough one. 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. Muzinski's dominated, as we spoke about coming into this one.
Tough matchup for Tukaha Cooper down low. Just throw it high and the big fellow will finish.
He got beaten in Tukaha Cooper, but I bet you he picks up a couple of votes out of it. Will Ledger underneath.
Tough night for Will Ledger. Just has not gotten the ball to bounce his way.
Bruce.
Right back into the paint.
How do the Saints change their game up, Casey, after this week, these 2 games, without Sean Bruce? Because he's had just a huge impact on this team, hasn't he? Positive impact, obviously.
Yeah, I think the playmaking is going to be okay, as we see a nice strong drive there again by Tukaha Cooper. But the playmaking is going to be okay. You know, you lose his assists. He's leading the Saints in that. But Shea Ali, he's going to pick up that ability there, and I think he's going to take that note. Where it is going to be a little bit different is that shooting from deep. I think that's not going to be able to stretch out the floor quite as well. You know, certainly that Shea Ali and Isaiah Liafa, both really good shooters, but a little bit streaky. And when Bruce is on that weak side, I think he had a little bit more gravity. So they're going to have to figure that one out.
Illy, 19 minutes tonight on debut for this season. 13 points, 5 rebounds and 10 assists.
Nick Mazinski thought he was getting a sub there. Saw it was Luka Richards, but it's not for him. And Luka Richards thought he was going for somebody else. And I saw a lot of disappointment on Nick Mazinski's face there.
Game MVP.
Shea Ali back up there.
Yeah, no, he's got some love out of the Saints fans, as he should. Tukaha Cooper continues to rise, though. They have been spreading the message around the family and friends, no doubt.
Dane Burtonshaw's first look tonight.
He played well, didn't he, in the earlier Sky Broadband Rapid League game, Burtonshaw.
Leading scorer for the Sharks. He definitely wants a shot in the corner right here.
And he'll get it for 3. Loves a triple, can't finish that. Oh, Tukaha Cooper.
Skies for that one.
Flying through.
And yes, look, for all intents and purposes, this game's over. But you still like to see the young fella come in and keep working. If there's time on the clock, you might as well give it your all. Go out there, work. And if I'm Coach Jonathan Yim, I appreciate that effort going down to that final buzzer.
17 points tonight for Cooper. Make that 18 as he converts from the Chemist Warehouse, and importantly, add some more money.
Oh, up to 30%.
Yeah, he's moving. I told you he'd get 30.
Chemist Warehouse, fantastic partner to the Hoops and Schools program. Every make this season donates to the kitty to get a hoop in a school near you. All thanks to Chemist Warehouse.
A couple of minutes to play. Caslow Evans Jr. Saints back it out. Dougal Meter, catch and shoot. That one, not one of his best. Shot clock was ticking down.
Is that why he threw the ball at it? Just joking.
Maybe.
Just joking, Marty. Good looking there. Tough angle. Had to get it up quick.
Chemist Warehouse stats tonight. Casey, some of the standouts, definitely the rebounds, 54 to 31.
And you know, always knew that was going to be the way. But I think really the Sharks have done pretty well to be that outmanned physically in the size department. Come here 22 points down now, but still trying to dig into it, trying to cut under 20 maybe.
Asbury is fouled beyond the arc. So he's going to get some extra shopping at the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Sharks have shot at 36%, the Saints at 45%. From the three-point line, Saints at 31% tonight, the Sharks at 32%. Turnovers have been a talking point. Saints up to 14 turnovers. It has been something to watch for the Saints so far this season.
Yeah, they had 5 really early. Slowed it down a little bit in that second and third quarter, but it's crept back up on them.
Asbury has a third one coming up. Tuatara and the Hawks playing on Sunday afternoon. That game is also live and free on Sky Go on Sunday afternoon. And there's going to be a reunion of sorts between the championship winning, or part of the championship winning team from the Illawarra Hawks. There's plenty of them scattered amongst those two teams.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a split there. Not to mention an assistant coach that's now the head coach for the Hawks, but 4 members of the championship winning Hawks matching up. 3-on-1 though, it's a little unfair.
Heke underneath.
I'm interested to see this Hawks Bay squad. Swakalo Bullock is possibly the best defender in the league. I mean, what he can do size-wise, he can switch 1 to 5. what he's going to be able to do for that Hawks team on that end of the court is going to be really impressive for the basketball aficionados. And look at that MVP.
Uh-oh.
You did it, Justin. Like I said, great for Tukaha Cooper. But, man, can you ask for better things?
Come on, Saints fans. You got to do better than that.
Oh, no, it's too late.
Surely Shea Ili gets up over the next 85 seconds.
Unless there's some consolidation there between Muzinski, Harris, and Ili. There is going to be a Tukaha MVP discussion.
Nah, Saints fans will come late, surely. Dying seconds of this one. Saints by 20. Asbury for 3. Rebound, Richards. Sharks may have actually won the last quarter here. They have. So they've finished well.
Little victories.
Well, and in this situation, you got to take them, don't you?
I mean, it's half joking, but it's also serious. You know, every positive step is exactly that, a step in the right direction. So, you know, you come down and you say, hey, we did this. At least we found some way to get a silver lining on that cloud.
Here's Evans Jr. Just always buzzing about. Pilcher underneath Richards, and I think Quake Webster was just doing his best to hang on for dear life in the end.
Which is sometimes all you can do as a guard. Down there in the post.
Jonathan Yim just using every moment to educate and teach his players here. Got plenty of the younger players on the floor right now. Richards drains the first.
Stretching out the lead.
Oh, what have I done?
He's going to top 40.
What have I done?
You know what you're doing. You always know what you're doing.
Dying stages in this one tonight. Been a bit of fun, hasn't it? Well, certainly in the commentary box. Saints fans have enjoyed it.
Out of bounds, unfortunately.
Seen that a couple of times in this last quarter, haven't we?
That was not very close on that one. He had 2 feet out.
12-time champs, of course, in the NZNBL. The Mills Albert Wellington Saints. New coach this season, Aaron Young.
I got to say, Coach Yim's style a little bit better than yours, Coach Young.
Oh, hello. That'll get back to Aaron Young. Not sure that he'll care.
No, he's okay with it. Luka!
Down he goes for 2.
Did we just call a timeout?
Oh, I think we're going to get a late timeout. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Something extra here for the Saints. Evans straight down the alley to Luka Richards. Bang.
Check it to him. Timeout. Coach Yim giving everybody at home the chance to lift Tukaha Cooper even higher.
Nah, here we go. The Saints fans are coming, Casey.
They're not coming at all.
They are.
Saints fans have turned this one off. They're at 22 with 40 seconds left.
Shea Ili's going to get up here. Watch this.
It's not going to happen.
Saints fans, scan that QR code. Shea Ili surely with his game tonight. 10 dimes as well. I think he's going to come late here over the top of young Tukaha Cooper. You got your last chance of the night for the game MVP. Fun and free, mixandpick.com. Will Shea Ili on return? Here we go. It's back to 1%. I told you. They're coming late, the Saints fans.
Well, for everybody at home, why are you listening to Justin? He's just pulling the strings. He's a puppeteer right now, and you're falling for it.
You sound like my wife now. Oh, look at that. Shea Ili.
She never says you pulling the strings.
No, but she says I don't listen to you. Shea Ili's just gone one over here. Look at that. There you go. Saints.
Back and forth we go. What a battle.
Saints fans right into it, aren't they? Rightio, last couple of plays of this one. Some Thursday night fun in the NZNBL, but on a serious note, a big win coming up for the Saints tonight. What do the Sharks do out of the timeout? Asbury to the corner. Cooper can't put it down. And now you would think...
Go for one more shot. You never know on the points percentage. Got to get one more bucket out there.
The Saints will come up with something here. They know every point counts. Evans Jr. Oh, Quake Webster.
Smash it, Quake. Go for the dunk.
The young man gets up for 2. Look at that for a highlight for Webster and the Sharks to finish it off. But it's a night that has been dominated by the visiting team. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. A highlight there. for Quake Webster. He'll take that. But it belonged to the Saints case.
Just superlative effort, not start to finish, but after the first 4 or 5 minutes, they found their groove and just imposed their will. They were the physically larger team. You just look at the difference between Muzinski and the rest of that lineup. They took their advantages where they could get them and overpowered a valiant effort by the Sharks in the end with a big victory. Taking a look at the stats, of course, looks like the MVP was Shea Illy for everybody back home, and he was able to drop 13 points in the end. Nick Muzinski with 19, Keelan Moon leading the way for the Sharks with 20. A lot of double-figure scoring for the Saints across the board, and that one onto the glass, which was a smash. But not because of Boone. He put some efforts in there. Hiram Harris just missing double figures as Muzinski leads the way there again.
57-35, the final rebound count, Case.
That is not close. Assist, Shea Illy gets 10 dimes in his opener.
In 19 minutes.
That's not bad. Assist every 1.9 minutes. That's impressive. Sean Bruce with 5. Keelan Boone and Muzinski leading the way with a couple of blocks apiece. Finishing with the steals. Hiram Harris had 4 at halftime. He finishes with 4, but Caleb Asbury jumps him on the magic number.
Official stats partner of the NZNBL, Chemist Warehouse. And they are the stats from tonight's big win for the Saints. How did the game MVP finish up? Had a bit of fun with this one. There you go. Shea Illy
cracks 40.
Storms home and gets up over the top of Tukaha Cooper. That was a well-run race between those two. Thanks for playing along. Hope you had some fun with that. Games coming up. Week 5 of the 2025 season. A couple of games tomorrow night. Tuatara up against the Panthers. Rams and the Jets. I'm really looking forward to that one. Those two teams coming in off a loss. Nuggets and the Saints. The Saints on the southern swing. Giants back at home and searching for their first win of the season. Phi, by the way, have had a great start to the season.
Great start to the season. A little bit under the radar after sitting on top with the last loss that they inflicted, but still a team that has been playing very well. 2
games coming up on Sunday, not on your screen. Tuatara against the Hawks is the Sunday afternoon game. That game also live and free on Sky Go. And Sunday night, I'm heading up to Palmy for this one. Looking forward to it. The Jets and the Airs, because when these two teams met a few weeks ago in New Plymouth, the Jets got up.
It was a fantastic win for them. See if time doesn't make that a little bit easier for the Airs to get back in that one.
Thanks for a bit of fun tonight, Case. Good to catch up with you. Thursday night hoops.
Yeah, it was okay for me.
I hope you enjoyed it out there. Saints get home by 21 and continue to march on. The Sharks, well, they've got some work to do as they try and get those wins up before the halfway mark and the return, or the incoming, Sam Timmins. Well done to the Saints tonight.